What is up, everyone? Welcome to the last Sunday tournament. Kasey was just working out some kinks for the first time on the stream. It's a 30K guarantee last Sunday tournament right here, Stones Live Poker, every month. Last Sunday of the month. Do you play this tournament ever?
I have played one.
Oh, okay.
When I first moved here, I played in one of these and cashed. Pretty good.
Oh, sick brag. Well, all right. Well, hope you guys are doing well. Shout out to all the people on both the Twitch and the YouTube streams.
What's up?
If you are not following already, which I imagine if you're here now, you're following. So, right before the, so we had 10 people left. We're about to go to the final table of 9 with the first bust out. But we got a double bust out, so there's only 8 people left. When we get to the introduction, it looks like they're still at break. They're coming back from the break. But Joel is in seat 7. You'll see him momentarily. He knocked out 2 players with pocket deuces. Third man in the pot with pocket deuces. Called 2 shoves with deuces and hit a deuce and knocked out kings and queens.
He told me to be prepared, that he plays really wild.
Be prepared.
He said, be prepared.
Wasn't it a Disney song? Who sings it?
Be prepared? A Disney song?
It's like Jafar, I think, sings the song. Be prepared. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember. But
I don't remember that one. I had to do all the Aladdin songs in my 5th grade recital, and I don't remember the Be Prepared.
Maybe I'm making something up. What's up, Bacon TT7? How are you? Today I'm currently in the Twitch chat, but I'm gonna try to bounce back and forth.
I will be in the YouTube chat.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. If you want to talk to Kasey, go to the YouTube chat. Huge surprise.
I'm sure he can let me know if there's something important I need to know.
Pretty massive. But anyway, hope you guys are doing well tonight. We've got a couple familiar faces. Huge surprise that Sean Drake, who just won the... wait, was Sean one of the ones that busted? No, he did not. Okay, yeah, Sean Drake just won the Friday night 1100 sit and go. If you guys didn't see that, you can check that archive out on YouTube. He is at the final table with 200,000 chips. It is pretty awesome. Like I said, Friday, he's the staple at these final tables. Any sort of tournament in this area or at Stones, it's typically Sean Drake. It's not a huge surprise to see Sean here at the final table. Justin's given him some last-minute instructions.
Which seat is he in?
Sean is the 2 seat.
Oh, okay.
You can recognize Sean with the, the hat, typical standard look, hat and beard. This is a pretty awesome Monday night. So it is a pretty awesome Monday night. Isn't it Sunday night?
It is Sunday night, last Sunday of the month tournament.
Right. Tomorrow night we're back, and I think you're actually playing tomorrow night.
I will be playing tomorrow night on the ladies event. Ladies No Limit Hold'em cash game.
This earbud doesn't really want to stay in very well, so I may get over it real fast. Anyway, shout out Liquid Swords. It is going well. I think officially. So you've been in the booth before. You were with Veronica.
I was.
This is officially Kasey's first night as an official Stones Live host.
The last
welcome.
One was just my audition.
Yeah, congratulations on passing your audition.
Snuck through.
You've made it to this elite group. Speaking of Sean Drake, there he is, seat 2. Seat 2. We're gonna do all the numbers in French, even though I only know 2 and 3. So yeah. Anyway, Sean Drake, standard crusher, killing it. Another familiar face, Jeff, who plays a lot of the cash games. You probably played against Jeff.
You know, I think I played with Jeff a time or 2.
Cash games. And what's funny about the tournament is he doesn't get his normal seat, which is seat 2. He's always in seat 2, but today he's got to get it from a different angle, seat 3.
Seat 3.
It looks like...
All right, do we have chip counts?
Seat 4. Oh, that's true. Yeah, Jeff has 236,000, and we are at a 16K big blind. Night, seat 4, which is in early running for my favorite name of all time on the stream, Night.
And I have played with Night before on some 2-5 as well.
Oh, all right. Well, so Night's not a stranger to the poker world. Yeah, no kidding, Pete. Great job. A familiar face in seat 5 is Deb, Poker B, aka Poker B, 305,000. with like I said, the big blind currently is 16,000 for another 19 minutes and 42 seconds. Seat 6, Sanvon. He is rocking 611,000. Seat 7 is the man of the hour, Joel. He has 1 million chips, over 1 million chips, the only player over 1 million chips because of the double knockout with the deuces. Apparently he can't miss. Congratulations on that. Scott, Great Beard Scott. He's got 586,000. And then Big Rob, who I would say, like, him and Sean Drake have a lot of similar things going on. Hat, beard, glasses, smile, you know.
The t-shirt,
both at the final tables, so those are pretty great. And we are getting the first hands of this final table out right now. So you were mentioning before the stream that you're obviously, like, every time I've seen you on the stream, you're just killing the cash games. So,
thank you.
Do you do a lot of tournament stuff, or?
I do some tournaments. I don't like to do too many because I feel like it cuts into my. If I'm doing too many tournament buy-ins, it cuts into my hourly or my yearly cash.
Fair enough.
So I do fairly well when I played a little bit in the WSOP. The one event, I got 56th out of like 1,500.
Okay.
But yeah, so I play a little bit of tournaments, but definitely mostly a cash game player.
Okay. Cool. So this should be fun for both. It's fun and exciting. Oh, first hand, Deb raises under the gun with Ace 10 of Hearts, and Knight's going to defend. Pretty standard.
Big blind defend there.
Here.
Deb
not messing around. Bets 100K right off the bat. That's a pot-sized bet, I think.
She's flopped top pair, and she doesn't want to lose out. He does have a straight draw, and she's not trying to let him see him get any of his equity because he also has 2 overs as well. So makes sense for her to try to go ahead and just see if she can get him to fold and win this right now.
Yeah, I think 100K might be a bit much to call, especially since he's rocking. It only looks like he's got like 180 maybe.
Right. We started with 218, so nice job. She was one of the very first people I played. The first tournament I played in here, which was the end of the month 30K Sunday tournament. I made friends with Deb. She was like literally my first friend that I ever made since I moved to Sacramento. So I'm definitely on Team Deb tonight. Glad to see her win.
I randomly jump in the first hand. Matt to see what's up. Stephen Young, the buy-in for the tournament is $300 buy-in. It's a 30K guarantee. It happens the last Sunday of every month, except for December, and then, well, actually, I guess no, that's not true. If it falls on Christmas, it gets moved. But other than that, the last Sunday of every month is standard. It's a great tournament, really nice structures, 40-minute levels all the way through, and this is the final table. You're going to be on the stream and make your mark on the poker world.
Something like that, we'll see. New hand developing here. Joel B with 1.1 million. Is he going to be in there? Of course, he's going to raise. He's got a mystery hand. We still don't know what he has.
That's a pretty huge raise, it looks like. Did you make it 100K?
Right? It's got to be. Oh, King 9 student.
Well, 100K at 816 seems like a big raise.
It is a really big raise. Everyone is, like, most of the table is sitting around 200 to 300. There's a couple around 5 to 6. But Joel's going to be using that chip stack to try to pick up as many extra chips as he can and just continue to build on his chip leader status. And it was going to work right there.
Yeah, I don't see too many people calling 100K against a big stack with a marginal hand. I don't know that I love that raise. That big? 6X?
So big, yeah. Because what are you getting called by? You're going to get called by massive hands that you're being crushed by.
Right, and you just gave up 10% of your stack right there. You have the chip lead.
It's a great point. You could actually get the same thing done with a much smaller raise because you are the big stack and these players aren't wanting to call off any portion of their stack really to you, knowing they're going to face a continuation bet on the flop as well.
That said, Joel is obviously in his own, all his own. He has the exact same hand, pretty much. only this time it's hearts instead of spades. And it looks like he's going for a little bit less or a little bit more. No, slightly less. I think he made it 95,000 instead of 100. Oh, excuse me, 90,000.
A little adjustment there.
You know, just a slight down bet. Maybe he thought he didn't get any action previously, but I'm not sure how excited anyone really would be to play King 9 after the flop. I think Deb is gonna. No, I guess again the bet's just too big. That was a hand where Deb might have.
What did Deb have there?
Queen 10 suited.
Okay.
But she also in the small blind, so it's an awkward situation.
She's gonna be playing that pot out of position against the big stack.
Calling like a third of her stack too.
If she doesn't actually hit anything on the board, then it's a weird spot for her.
I'd like to see if he continues to open that big. If somebody's gonna 3-bet shove, like in Deb's situation, her stack size is probably, you know, good enough at like 300K to shove over the top of that and maybe not get called. But if you're assuming like if he's going to open really wide, then maybe there's a spot there for a hand like King Queen suited or maybe like an Ace 10 suited or something like that.
Yeah, well, and also like Sean, he's our short stack at the table. He definitely has the ability to shove at any time, and we know he's got the moves to do it. I mean, I don't expect to see him trying to get it in light. I mean, I know he wants to stay good, but he can use that short stack to his advantage too, and pick up some chips if he gets some decent hands. People aren't going to want to call that much, except Joel might get risky there.
Yeah, Master C, Deb is poker B. Yes. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm in the Twitch, and I'm not like glancing at the thing. Eric is convinced, which probably rightly so, that I don't know how to play big stack poker. I play mostly tournaments. I'm confused though, like what exactly you're referring to, because making it 100K, like I guess we could all just like sit around and fold to Joel all night if he's gonna open for 100K.
No,
but
until somebody wakes up with a hand, and then he might get bit a couple of times. Let's see.
The weird part about that is
Joel moves all in for 1.2 million. It's going to be all in with the 9-10 suited, and of course he's going to fold it. And Joel would have been drawing to an 8. And that's it. So it's going to be putting a lot of pressure on and using that stack and just continuing to build on it. And so far it's working for him. So good for him. I've been told now in the chat that I look like I'm from Jersey or Boston.
Oh, okay. Is that like?
I don't know. I guess I just look like a Jersey girl.
You say how much are the yellow chips? That's like Eric's goal. The black chips are 1Ks. The pink or lavender, which aren't really lavenders, I think it's more like pink. Those are 5Ks, and then the blacks are 25Ks. So yeah. So shout out to all the people in the chat. I know Master C is around, and maybe he's taking off, but. Yeah, there's a lot of really, just like really amazing comments in the chat right now. When did they broadcast? What are we talking about? It's a 30K guarantee, $300 tournament, final table. Joel is the big stack, and he is definitely pushing some chips around. Although it's not that weird, I think, when you have a big stack and somebody who maybe seems a little scared limps in the small blind.
Yeah.
You know, how often are they going to limp and call aces or something?
In that spot, yeah. Period. They should have probably just folded there. They weren't willing to shove or raise. Looks like Sean.
Yellow chips. The yellow chips. Hey, thanks.
So who is Master C? He says he's commentating.
Chris.
With Patrick.
Is it Chris? Master C. Yeah, he's. We've done like 2 or 3 of the streams together. He had the really like great hat on the Veronica Christmas stream. He had like a pretty amazing sweater that he made with like glitter and everything. Like he just put it together. You've probably seen him around. He's got a bit of a hike to get here, but he's one of the commentators now. Yeah. So Joel, I mean, this is an idea of what Joel is capable of, mixing it up with 9-4, betting.
Using the small blind. This is a small blind versus big blind hand. Scott had a real hand. Right now he just has a straight draw. But facing even a small bet from Joel, right now he doesn't have a pair, and it's going to be hard to call with just a straight draw, but he might do it. The bet's not very big. It's a pretty small bet. Looks like he's going to go ahead and make the call. And he makes the best
10. It'll be interesting to see if Joel bets again. I can't see why he wouldn't bet, but maybe Joel has a gear. So far, as I can tell, he just has like max gear, like only overdrive.
Right.
And there he goes, 80,000.
But now that he's got some equity in this pot, Scott, can he find a call here? Looks like he is.
He's contemplating it. He certainly
cutting
didn't.
out chips like he's gonna, he's gonna.
Oh, it doesn't mess around. Oh man. Picks him off with a 10.
Joel's like, I don't want to show my cards.
Yeah.
Like,
Sometimes
I muck this without anyone seeing.
That's funny. I've seen people do that where they play a hand, like a bad hand, really aggressively, and then at the end they're like, "Oh, hey, I misread my hand." Right? Like I'm trying to backpedal and sell it as a thing.
I had the nuts the whole time.
Oh, my bad. I misread my hand. I've seen this guy Brandon Cantu. He does that. He'll just be like, he's like hyper aggro, just like the entire time during the tournament. And if somebody like shoves in the river, he's like, "Oh, I misread my hand," and then he just like butts it. I've seen him do that at least once. It was hilarious, actually. Yeah. Oh, all kinds of messages deleted. Moobot is doing work in the chat.
What?
I don't know. The YouTube chat is apparently much more tame.
What is going on in the Twitch chat? I don't even see this stuff. I don't even get this.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. It's just I wouldn't be able to tell you except for like half of the messages have been deleted. So pretty amazing stuff. Anyway, yeah, I think that shows a little bit of maybe like the table's opinion of Joel in terms of how he's playing. Like maybe Scott is a little bit more familiar and thinks that he's just like throwing chips in there. So calling there is not a terrible idea. Obviously, like the small bet on the turn probably makes it easier to call the river. But I don't know. I'm gonna chalk that up to maybe everybody thinks Joel is a bit aggro,
yeah,
right?
I think this tournament's been going on a while now, and Joel has been maybe playing a little unorthodox as far as his hand selection. So it definitely is probably playing into these players' minds.
Aptor says Joel plays terrible. The whole table is no better except Scott. All right. Well, I mean that's one way to look at it. I think we all kind of agree that Sean Drake's pretty solid. Scott, he's among one of those. Seat 9 is a good player. Yeah, Big Rob. I'm talking about Big Rob. I'm just kidding. So Deb opens, pretty standard. Joel wants to play all the pots. It'll be interesting to see if Joel manages to keep this massive lead based on how this appears to be.
Well,
okay, never mind.
He just swaps the world.
Okay.
You know, it's good to be Joel.
Sometimes people have been kissed by the sun or something.
Now he's just trying to figure out, can he get anyone else?
I don't.
Oh, he's just gonna.
What? It's like the value killing shove too. Like.
Yeah, I absolutely hate that shove by him. I mean, I guess he's trying to deny equity to a bigger flush if a fourth spade comes out. But you are crushing that board, and definitely would like to see him try to get some value from these hands that might hit a top pair or find some equity somewhere. But he wanted to just go ahead and take it down there.
I guess it should be there then. What's up, Janae Smith, Mr. Smiley? The YouTube chat is full of gentlemen and smart pros. That's a fair point, I guess. There aren't any deleted messages in. I am not, Eric, but if I were going to do it, I think I would. I always think like this feels like the kind of game that the Patriots are just going to roll over the Eagles. because they've struggled so far in the playoffs in terms of like crushing people. So I actually think the Patriots minus the points is going to be the bet. Maybe even the over, because they'll win by like 30. So I am in YouTube chat to see what jogs your memory. Oh yeah, Master C. So yeah, you came in. We did Master C and I think we did one of your cash game sessions, and then you came in and talked about a big hand. I forget exactly the hand, but he's got like a buzzed head, and apparently he thinks he's ugly.
Oh, surely not.
He's a normal looking dude.
We've got a couple of players that are getting, to that kind of shove mode. Jeff, Night, and Sean, 13 big blinds, 12 big blinds, 11 big blinds respectively. They're getting around that place. I mean, we are at a final table, so you can still be really careful with your hand selection, but where they're going to be looking to get it in and try to double up and see if they can make it farther. I would like to see what the payout jumps are. Oh, here they are right in front of me. So 3, we've got...
Everybody's guaranteed $11.97 from this point on. And what was that? First place is probably like 12K or something, if I'm guessing. But yeah, I mean, this is a pretty solid tournament in terms of your value, what you're getting. $300 tournament, 40-minute levels, good structure.
Yeah.
You get to the final table with in situations where one guy doesn't have a bunch of the chips, you get to the final table a little bit deeper, but still not bad. I mean, I've seen Sean Drake come in here and be like 6 big blinds and come back and chop like top 3, I believe, in like one of these like 2 months ago.
Hollywood on the Sit and Go tournament, he was down to, I think, one.
Yeah.
And he came back and got second in that tournament.
I know. It was actually pretty incredible because there were a few points where he was doing things that just like no one else does.
No, right. I saw that. I was folded jacks. He folded another hand. It was just crazy that he would have won. But it worked out for him. So
Oh, Bacon TG7. I am actually going to be out of town in Coconut Creek, Florida, for the unfortunately for the Win the Button
got
tournament.
Sean all in here with the King 6 of diamonds, and Big Rob's gonna. I can't really.
Was that a
see
limp
him
from the small
calling
blind?
here.
Oh wait, no. So he's 3-bet shoving with King 6 suited.
Yeah, Big Rob's gonna go lay down, get a little Hollywood in there.
Yeah, folded ace queen with 2 big blinds left. I think the bigger one was the jacks to an open raise, like under the gun, holding jacks with like 13 bigs or something. It's a very unorthodox play.
Yeah, there was one later where he was like under the gun, I believe, and he barely had anything left. Pocket eights, or maybe it was king queen, and he folded, but he would have won. And I was shocked to see that one as well. But he ended up taking second, so good job. Also, we had. Janae Smith wanted to give Joel a claps for his good play and for doing well. So shout out to Joel for.
This tournament have a dinner. No dinner break, Mike. Just the standard, like 15-minute breaks every 2 levels. All right, see ya, Master C. Have a great night. Scott gets a pretty hand, Queen Jack of Hearts. I've never understood. Everyone says the Ace of Spades is the prettiest card in the deck. I completely disagree. It definitely, the prettiest cards in the deck have to be red.
Queen of Diamonds.
Okay, fair enough. I like, Queen, like suited diamonds and heart face cards. I think those are some of the prettiest cards. The Ace of Spades. Give me a
Sean
break.
took first, and if I don't want to know who took first in the 1K, I believe it was Sean.
It was Sean, yeah. That was Friday night. Sean took an early lead and then managed to fade a pretty like gross kind of come from behind, suck out type thing, and then ended up winning. Really great flop for Scott.
Yeah, Squat.
Squat has more than squat. Yes.
Squat flops the top pair with the flush draw. Night is gonna say good night and fold his hand.
Yeah. I mean, you hate. I think sometimes you hate seeing a flop like that and then getting zero action.
You want to see it, but at the same time, you want somehow them to have some sort of equity that's not like a little set there or something.
A fair point, Mr. Smiley. I don't think that. I don't know if I want to get into this card. All the cards are pretty.
They're all pretty. Except the doggy feet, they're cute. Clubs.
Oh, clubs, not pretty. Oh,
Cute.
fair enough.
Pretty, they're more just cute, little puppy feet. Let's see.
Whenever you fold,
Oh, my spit out.
I get picked one time.
That's right. I mean, that is actually a terrible. Well, it's a reasonable strategy for roulette.
Since did you look at both of them?
I've seen Joel fold a few hands here, so I think he's trying
Yeah,
to be
maybe he doesn't.
selective.
He got picked off on that
Seven deuce
one.
has
Yeah.
to be suited in order for him to play.
Right.
You know, so definitely he's making some selections.
Somebody said something really interesting on Twitter. I forget exactly who it was, but it was something like the worst thing that can happen to someone as a poker player is like achieving like a positive result off of a bad play, because it almost like reinforces your yeah. It's like
That's why you can't be result oriented so many ways. Just like the stream that we were on last week on Monday, I think it was the one that didn't actually make the stream, but I had pocket aces and I had 3-bet, and then I got 4-bet, shoved, original razor folded, I shoved all in, 2 other callers, so it ended up being 4-way all in. I had aces, Joel had 8s, Harlan had 6s, 7 had pocket kings, and I ended up third best hand. The 8s and 6s both flop sets.
oh no.
And but you know, like I wasn't upset or mad about that hand at all because I got in with the best hand. I'm much more angry about hands that I play poorly than if I lose a lot of money. It's much more about the decision making rather than whether or not I want to hit pot.
Yes, I agree. I think that's a really good mindset. It's a mindset you have to have if you want to play poker for a living. You got to be more tied to the way you played the hand and not the result of the hand.
It's definitely a long-term game.
Yeah, the 3-bet shoving King 6 of diamonds is a little bit of a like. It might be like close to a loose-ish shove.
King 6.
King 6 suited, ish maybe. I don't know. He's in seat 2. Is that Chandra sitting 1 seat over from where he was 2 months ago? Yes, he thought. That's right. The last time Chandra chopped one of these tournaments, he was in seat 1. Joel with the 7-3 of spades makes it 75,000. So his raise sizes are all over the place. Although the blinds actually went up. It's 10-20 right now. So his raise is a little bit under 4x instead of 6x like he was doing previously. So not bad.
Not bad. Still sitting around the same stack size. We're losing graphics. Graphics are going in and out here, but we do have Jeff and Night both under 10 big blinds. So
Did DFD Ondo
raises to 75 with 7-3 suited. You know, last time 7 deuce of spades worked out so well, he decided 7-3 of spades looked even better, and he takes it down. Nobody is wanting to challenge him.
What do you think about that shove, King 6 suited? I think my only potential issue with it is that you, with 11 big blinds, you don't have a ton of fold equity, and do you really? Is King 6 like super far in front of the button range? There's a button open and then a 3-bet shove from the small blind.
Okay.
But I mean, like I said, I don't hate it. I don't think it's a bad thing, but maybe a little bit loose. Maybe
And what did the button actually have in that hand? It's not that it
I don't
matters.
remember.
You don't remember? Okay. You know, let's see, blinds are at 10 and 20. He's got 9. I mean, it's not a bad spot necessarily. Likely, the big blind is raising light, trying to get you to fold out. If it's been folded around to the big blind, he's raising there. He's hoping that nobody has anything and he can just take it down. He doesn't really have to have much to make that raise in that position. So it's pretty strong to push back there. King 6, not bad with that many blinds suited. It's probably within his range if you're actually on a calculator. It's probably within the range of shoving hands.
I mean, it's like 100. Well, I don't know if it's 100%. It probably is close to a shove, like open shove.
Open shove, right?
Small blind, big
Call, yeah.
but
Calling
like
a
3-bet
raise.
shoving.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sean is the crusher. I'm just here. Like,
Right. Well, a raise from any other position would have probably been a lot scarier than it being the button raise, because it does look so bluffy when it gets folded around the button.
It could probably open with anything and do a couple short stacks, and you need to be willing to
Right.
fire back with a
Betting
3-bet shove.
Yeah, he's betting that they're not willing to put their tournament live on the line right there in that spot.
All right, so first place is $12,744. Second place, $7,831. Third, $5,400. $3,800, $2,700, $2,000, $16,000, and $11.97 is what each player is guaranteed so far.
You know, we just saw Night have pocket aces. Joel with ace 10. Night shove.
I think he made it like 50. He made it like
He made it
55.
50. And Joel folded.
Yeah.
You know, his ace 10, which I'm surprised that he folded that hand there, but he must have realized Night was really strong. And, you know, he's been sitting with these players and they've been playing for quite a few hours, so there's going to definitely be some reads there. And
Joel doesn't want to mess with a guy named Night. Yeah. Who does? Who does want to mess with a guy named Night? Oh, Jeff's playing a hand.
For Jeff, so we're starting to get some real hands here. We've seen a lot of junk recently, but it looks like we're starting to have some hands. Raised to 40K.
Number one headband, ace. Adam Brown, a great fold. Joel, yeah. I mean, that is an unorthodox fold. You're raising 6x with some random hands, and then you fold ace 10, which is a reasonable big blind defend. But maybe he thought maybe in Joel's mind there's only one speed, so if he's not shoving, he's not calling. Sandbong. Okay. SV,
He was thinking about it, but it
Sandbong.
looks like he found a fold with the 6-8 suited. Now Joel, he's got mystery cards again. Oh, he's going to show them to us.
Whoa.
Oh, this is going to get so.
It could. It's gonna get. Yeah.
It's going to get so bad for Joel unless he flops a set here.
I think YouTube is ahead of Twitch.
It's
Yeah, you might be
against
right.
Jeff, who only has another 134 behind. So, Joel is. Oh, they're going to get it in right here. Yeah. And
Yeah, Jeff says no way he's gonna ever fold. Obviously. Yeah.
Right, yeah, totally. And Joel's gonna hate to see the kings. Oh, there it is.
Joel has come from behind before to win, so I guess we'll find out.
Joel has
good.
come from behind to win?
He was the guy that had the deuces against kings and
Oh,
queens
okay,
and
I see.
busted the final table open for us.
Good flop for kings.
You know, technically it's a good flop for
And
queens
there
too,
it is.
but
It's done, folks. Kings are gonna hold up. A diamond on the turn would have been an interesting card.
Jeff plays one hand, doubles up. Great job. It's going to put him somewhere in the vicinity of like 500K, maybe closer to like 440. So only with 22 bigs, but that's not bad. I guess if you're going to get down to 11 bigs, having kings against queens is a pretty great place to be.
Yeah, and Joel is still got about 1 million, so if you're gonna get kings against queens there, you definitely want to be the big stack.
This is not a replay, Dark Edge
Figuring
Twitch.
it out.
This is on a 20-minute delay. Yeah, 20 minute delay.
If I had left tip, that would
That's baby blood.
I'm actually like, oh, okay. Let's see. You're collecting the antes. Oh, what are you? So like, there's a new thing, we talked about it a little bit on Friday, where they're doing tournaments now with a big blind ante, where the big blind ante is for everyone. So always it's like big blind
All of
ante.
the tournaments here we done like that. Is that what you're saying?
No. This, I don't think they're doing it here yet, but this is like a new kind of phase of tournament poker.
Oh, okay.
And
I had heard something about
and
this.
people are suggesting it kind of makes it go faster, which I guess in theory it does. But
What are the objections to that, though? There's got to be some people that hate it for various reasons.
I think one of the big ones is like if you are all in the big blind or something, and then your ante is kind of it doesn't seem any different, but suddenly you're all in for like a huge amount because you're paying the entire ante. You know,
Right.
whereas before you were
See
only.
if you're short stacked, how that could really affect.
Bacon TT7 says Big Blind Annie is so stupid. Friends making up poker scenarios for casinos that aren't here. Good players.
Night night call
Yeah.
20K with the Jack Deuce. Joel with 3-4 of diamonds, 20K to call. He's gonna go ahead and raise. He's gonna put night night all in, just to try to put the pressure on night night.
I would watch this one. This one's a little bit ahead because that one's behind a little.
Oh, okay.
But
Yes.
I know, it's like I keep
Behind,
bouncing
so
back
one
from the
I'm
chat.
watching is a hand that's not even happening.
That's alright.
So
So it's
I
really,
still want
really,
to know what
really
happened.
great.
Joel wins it. Really great comments.
Yeah, really.
Not happening.
The way that you analyze that hand was just pure joy. Yeah. But it's all good. It takes a while to get used to it because I keep like looking at the chat and then realizing I'm like here. That's why I had to pause this. Since look at me. So Justin, I'll talk down B-Blue Annie to anyone who likes it. Yeah, I mean, just kind of a random thought. Get some opinions from the chat. I know it's not a thing, but what happens in poker tournaments is it tends to get adopted by.
What is the random thought? See, I'm not.
Oh no, the thing about the big blind hand.
Oh,
So
okay.
Eric was commenting that like I'm bringing up something that doesn't even happening here. You could argue that people are just doing it to try to make it easier for everyone instead of like the dealers always like antes.
Right.
You know.
Well, we're implementing the 30-second shot clock a lot of places as well. Some people are actually abusing that. At times when you would take 5 seconds, people taking their full 30 seconds. And so, I mean, any way to speed up the game is good, or to keep people from tanking unnecessarily because it can be profitable for them. If they're short stacks, continue consistently tanking to just try to level up and make it a little further, then I can see why the antes is just ways to save on time. Let's see. Joel has a real hand. Oh, no, he doesn't. Missed
Yeah,
it.
it's hard, yeah.
It's over. Right, pocket tens. He just takes it down. Easy peasy.
Anytime, of course.
And Poker Me, Night Night, and Sean all hovering around that 10 big blind fold or shove type range.
Here you go. See if Night Night's gonna shove his sixes. Now see, with 10 bigs, I'm not really a fan of not shoving. I guess I could get behind potentially like a fold if you really just wanted to like wait for a better spot, but you got 10, you're under the gun with sixes. I think it's a standard shove. 6-6, 3's in, I shouldn't have taken it. Yeah, good point too. But in a sense, at least he's doing the same thing. Like last time he had aces, he made the same raise. He didn't shove. This time he has sixes, he didn't shove. So, maybe at this point people wouldn't know that yet. They didn't look at, the stream hasn't caught up with the hand. So the guys at the table don't necessarily know that. But
well, yeah, I mean, if you think about it now, if he had shoved, Joel's not likely to call with the king deuce of clubs. The ace five also, it likely just gets through and he gets to get all those blinds and antes. But now he's facing a three-way. Let's see.
Yeah, now you got to play sixes against a couple of opponents.
Possibly against a couple of opponents.
And if you don't flop a set, like...
They can just bet you off a bit, and...
Oh, well, you're going to flop a case six.
Then you're going to get some... And, you know, he obviously played it perfect. We didn't know what we were talking about.
Right.
He knew he was going to flop a set. And this way, now Joel hits his deuce, and we know Joel's calling with a pair.
Is he going to keep checking? Like,
So,
that'd be interesting. 9-9 checks twice. Is he going to try to get a little bit of value here?
He's trying to get
the river.
Joel
75.
to bet him. Now Joel's like, I have a deuce here. Could it possibly be good? There's no way his deuce is good here because I just don't see Night putting all of his chips in with a stone cold bluff this late in a tournament. I think he has to have some sort of equity here, but the way
did he get called?
He got called.
I guess if you check down the set the whole time.
He checked it down the whole way, and
9-9 just roped the pot.
Joel's
I love that move.
Maybe an ace, something that didn't hit, but yeah, 9-9. Unfortunately, he's not going to put all of his chips in without some sort of equity there.
Right. I think like check could have nothing, but then when he shoves the river. I would say the worst thing he's got is like ace 7 if he's shoving the river, but I don't even think he's shoving ace 7 there.
But it's tough for Joel. He's hit a pair on the turn. It's been checked down the whole way, and you know he didn't quite know what was going on. Maybe he really just wanted to pick up that pot there, and Joel was trying to deny it to him. But yeah, unfortunately he had it set, so not gonna work.
Joel had that little thing inside him that wants to pick somebody off with the bottom pair.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen Joel just take 2 really big hits to the stack. We saw, was it Sean who doubled through him? No, it was Jeff who doubled through him, and now we see Night double through him. So Joel now under $1 million in chips, and some other people are getting a little healthy.
Speaking French in the chat, or I'm assuming that's French. But all right, so Deb Poker B's got Ace Jack offsuit under the gun, and it's all in for 233,000. So 11 big blinds, and she's gonna get called here.
Absolutely. And
I mean, unless I'm assuming she's gonna get called.
Yeah, I think she's gonna get called. I think it's gonna be really hard for him to fold here because he has her covered, like double covered, and she is gonna be drawing super light, super thin here. She's basically trying to hit a jack or a straight.
All right, so he reshoves. What a nit roll! It wasn't that long. I don't think it would qualify as a nit roll. Sometimes too, when you have a hand like Ace Queen, you decide whether you want to like call like flat or shove. You know, like which you'd rather do. Oh wow, what a hand!
Sean has 10, so what does he do? Because we've got 2 players.
Shove, reshove,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sean's like, no, I'm going to take the extra money.
Time to ladder up.
Somebody's going to either bust here or going to end up really short and ladder
that's
up.
a big time ICM move.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
And then what I like too is he didn't even think about it. Like he'd already, the decision was basically made for him, and he didn't make us all wait to find out what he's gonna do and do the flip it up a couple times and then just be like.
Got a diamond draw now. She can hit a diamond.
6 for a chop.
Oh, she
diamond.
hits it.
Nice.
I love me some Deb. I'm happy to see Deb doubling up there with the Ace Jack versus the Ace Queen.
Well, you could make the argument that 10s might be in a good spot because if both players are playing like big aces, then they're drawing to each other's outs. But at the same time, I think Sean's first thing is just, is a player at risk? there's a ladder up, so the difference between another $500 is folding 10s there. I think a lot of people are going to fold 10s in that spot. Some people won't.
Yeah, you know, people have different strategies and have different goals. Certain players who are really just there to win, and that's the only place they care about, is first place, are likely going to find a shove there because they're thinking that way. But other people, and neither one is wrong, are thinking about how much money I can make and if I can possibly get someone to knock out here and survive to make a little bit more and find a different spot, a better spot where I'm shoving instead of calling a shove. And now, Sean may have a different opinion. He may think that he's still playing to win there by shoving or by folding, but you know, just different strategies.
Well, he's also preserving like a 11, 12 big blind stack in a spot where, I mean, 10s is so, I think it's close. I think jacks, he probably goes for it. 10s might be like DF Dondo says, like close to the best hand that he folds or the worst hand that he calls with. And so he's right in that area of potentially like being in there.
Yeah, because he's likely just flipping. Who really wants to flip for their tournament life again, especially against two other hands. So.
Deb's facing an under the gun raise, and I think she may have. Oh no, she just calls. So it was a 5x raise.
The big blind.
And she defends the big blind.
Sixes are still best here. It's actually a really nice flop for sixes if you're going to have sixes. Rather than if you're not going to see a six, then you want to see a flop like that. Keep it low. That's all you're thinking.
Yeah, you got some. You know, you got your gutter ball. Only one over.
Got a spade in your hand. Zachary says Shooty is more skilled than most.
No, he's a solid player for sure. I mean, I think that's the fun part about poker is you could probably make an argument for playing the 10s there. You could at least, you know, potentially make an argument for playing the 10s there, and you can also make an argument against playing the 10s.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we love about poker is so objective and subjective at times. And it's always evolving. So what's right today might not be right tomorrow. Reasons I love the game. It's such a challenge.
Yeah, Eric, that I mean, I think ace-8 suited is a pretty standard big blind defend. The problem is that open was extra big, so I think that's partly why there was some hesitation on Deb's part. Oh, all right, shoving 7-5 suited with 9 bigs. It's pretty close, probably.
Ooh. Sandbong has king queen and is
still a big chunk of the stack though. Half a stack to call.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know that Sean is capable of shoving these like suited one gappers, then maybe king queen flipping to get one of the better players out of the tournament is you know, there's that extra added no Sean Drake in the tournament equity.
Good point. Good point. It's a little bit easier. A little easier road. Oh, he folded. Wow. And that's why that shove is so strong. Hijack you haven't seen him playing a lot of hands. It's the way best hand to lay down there.
Yeah, and Sean's got a very shovable stack, so 10 bigs, 9 bigs. I'd actually say, like, I mean, again, if we're talking about just like mathematically, like perfect shoves, I think that's probably a little lower than. It's probably actually pretty close to that spot, like a 10-9 suited, 10-8 suited or something. So 7-5.
And that's when you're really taking into a lot of other variables at the table too. So You know, he's in the hijack, so he's already seen a few people fold. And where I'm really looking at the people in front of me, if they've taken a glance at their cards beforehand, if they look excited about them, if they look like they're wanting to possibly play those hands. There's so many different factors that Sean can say, like, you know what, maybe it's a mediocre, but it feels good in this spot. You know, in this spot it feels like I can go ahead and shove. And those are just pickup reads that you only get when you're sitting at the table.
The girl kind. Eric, those bracelets are still bracelets. Did Deb win the ladies event? Is that? I didn't.
I'm not sure. You know, she always goes really deep in a lot of these tournaments. Anytime I see her playing in them, she's generally going deep. So, Deb, I think she's a solid tournament player.
I'm checking something because I'm actually curious about this.
You know.
Alright guys, if you guys are just tuning in for the first time, this is Stones Live. Follow us on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube. We're here Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and then the last Sunday of every month, plus a lot of special nights with special guests coming up. We've got like Jonathan Little week. It's like a whole week dedicated to Jonathan Little, and well, it's not, you know, it's dedicated to poker, but Jonathan Little's going to be here taking us through some of that. He's going to be hosting some, he's going to be playing some. That all kicks off February 19th with the Win the Button tournament, $300 buy-in, $100 bounties. So it's a, you know, it's like Win the Button 2.0. We had one of those a few months back, and now we've added bounties to it. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
So it's still going to be a cash game.
Oh, there's going to be 3 different cash games that week. But the week kicks off with the Win the Button tournament. And I think Jonathan's in the booth for that, or maybe, you know, maybe it's one of those situations where he's going to come play it, and if he's not in the final table, he'll be in the booth. But
yeah, and then on the Veronica and Friends on Wednesday, I'll be playing in that one with Jonathan Little. I think it's going to be really fun. I'm really excited for it. I think we're going to have a great time, and it should be a fun one to watch, for sure.
All right, let's see.
Are you going to be in the booth with Jonathan at all?
I'm not sure. I don't actually think I'm here.
Joel's got Ace-Jack in the small blind. He's going to go ahead and raise it to 100K, and Scott's going to insta-muck.
Okay, so Stones Live Poker confirms he's in the booth every day, but with the Veronica and Friends, he's actually playing. So it's going to be a big week. Jonathan, obviously, several books about poker, especially like small stakes and everything. So if you're looking for educational, it's going to be a lot more informative. That's going to be a great week for that. So stay tuned for that. So I looked it up. And like a 7-6 suited, so 7-5 suited is like just under the shoving range for 9 big blinds, which is, I mean, close, you know, close enough. That's one of those things too. Is it's like Sean definitely understands the value of hands like that, the suited one gapper, the suited connector type hands with 10 big blinds, whereas like another player might not get that those are pretty strong.
Right.
Definitely shovable hands. So. Pick up another 300K. I imagine Joel goes bust before Sean. It wouldn't be a huge surprise, but Joel has like tempered it a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I think Joel's been playing really solid. I mean, we saw him make a great fold with Ace-10 when he, what was he up against? Somebody had, with the Ace-10, aces, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, aces. Sure. So followed great read on that hand, and been seeing him make some good plays, and not playing every hand anymore. But
Eric's obsessed with the yellow chips. I think one of the things I can see with Joel is this, like, you have all these chips. If in situations where you could chip up again, you kind of like nuke all of your value by shoving your huge hands or making it like 7x, then you're not really like gathering chips anymore, and you have to wait for these big hands to gather chips, like when he gets queens, but unfortunately he was up against kings, right? So it puts you in a weird spot if you're not going to chip up outside of those big hands. Rob's 3-bet shoving pocket nines. I don't know if he's going to get called. It's a big shove. Sanbong is actually covered.
I don't see San Vaughn calling here because he could just be killed by an ace jack, ace queen, ace king hand. If it's a pair like this, then he's also not best as well. So he's still behind. He's behind in almost any scenario other than a bluff. So very hard.
Other than this particular one where he technically is flipping.
Right.
But
but still behind. The slight dog. But yes.
What's interesting is his raise, 200, was this all in a call? What was his initial raise? 50K, so it's like 280, which is only 14 big blinds. You could make the argument to open shove 14 big blinds from the cutoff there instead of 3-bet folding, but 3-bet folding I think is...
What do you think? You think he's folding or calling?
I mean, I think he's gonna fold.
I also think he's going to fold, but he just really...
I think he just hates it.
Now he's showing his cards, he's definitely folding. Yep.
This is one of those ones where he's like, man, maybe if I had shoved.
I like to fold though, really do. Really hard to have a hand that's crushing anything there.
It shouldn't be folding after putting 1/3 of the stack in.
Yeah, so what he shouldn't be doing is putting 1/3 of his stack in, but I think he should be folding there.
It's tough though. I mean, when you get down to this stage of the tournament, you have ace-10 suited on the cutoff. I don't know that you're going to open fold that. I think if you're going to raise, you want to raise like a very small amount.
Yeah.
Where you can raise fold, or just shove your 14 big blinds. Jeff wakes up with aces, so well, I guess technically he's been awake the whole time. I don't get where that term came from. Wakes up with aces.
DF Dondo says he definitely does need to be calling it off there. I see the argument for calling it off. I'm just saying it's really hard when you're opening a shove there to think, what are you really beating? I mean, how good could you really be in that spot? I mean, it's so hard to be ahead in any scenario. So.
Alright, well if you got aces, ace clubs, pretty good flop. Jeff's gonna lead.
Yeah, and now 99's likely not going anywhere because he's flopped top pair, and it's unlikely that Jeff's flopped a flush here. So I expect 99 to just go with it. He's not all in. He's got too big of a stack, but
150K, so that was a pot-sized bet. What's up, Capil Caps? Thank you. Shout out to our homies in India. To break and call on turn.
And I can see break and call on turn, but in this one tournament tonight isn't right there. I'm finding a fold.
Yeah, pot-sized bet, but he's thinking. I think with this particular hand, you want a call on this board with aces. At least one call. Like, see.
He folds. He finds a fold there. Knight has got some kind of.
I think he might have been scared of the clubs.
Mojo going on.
Maybe he was scared of the clubs.
Whatever he was scared of, he had a right to be scared. And he made a really good fold, and he's still here. A lot of other people are going broke there. Like it.
3 clubs saved his tournament life. That's true. If he had flopped kings, a pair of kings on any other board, he might have gone broke there. But
right, and that raise just seemed really, really strong, I think, too.
Way too much. Yeah, his pot size bet was kind of big. But, I mean, from where we're sitting, we're seeing exactly the hands, and we're trying to think about, what kind of hands you get called from, that kind of thing. But from where he's sitting, maybe he wants to get, maybe he just wants to get it over with right there, Some people would have played it a little bit slower because they really like their hand with that board, with holding the ace of clubs and overpair. But
Defondo, I am playing basketball again on Tuesday. Who is Dondo?
I don't know,
but I guess maybe he played basketball with me a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
24 hours. I am not at 24 hour. I went and checked it out and decided on a different gym. But I'm sure they're really good free late night gymmers.
All diamonds. The translator isn't great, but it gets the job done. This is one of those tourneys where some players don't push full charts well. I see different play. Interesting to watch. Yeah, I mean, that's true. People are maybe going more with like a feel or whatever they think, don't really understand a lead there. His range is King X, declining the pre-flop raise. I mean, you probably could have gotten away with a check call in that specific scenario, but we don't know what he has. And maybe he's thinking he really, really doesn't want to, sometimes people are afraid of what's in front of them, right? Like 3 clubs is daunting.
Well, we just saw Night pick up a hand where there was 3 diamonds on the board. He had top pair this time, aces, and he was not afraid of the diamonds. Now he wasn't facing a huge raise from Joel, who Joel had almost no equity at all with an 8-3 in that pot. But Night picks up a nice little pot off of Joel.
New guy 91. Who's dealing right now? I don't know his name off the top of my head. I don't remember his name.
DF Dondo lifetime is really nice.
Joel down to 878,000. Still a lot of chips. He's only lost like 150K total.
DF Dondo, who are you? I played basketball.
Eddie. I was gonna say it started with an E. I almost said like Irwin, but Eddie. There you go. Oh, there you go. You can see his name right there. Eddie, the dealer.
Oh, okay. That's who the dealer is. That's not who DF Dondo is.
No. And I mean, theoretically, it could maybe be.
Joel down to 876K. Guero says.
Big Rob's getting a little bit saucy with the 10-3 suited. Dark Age, I don't think so. Moobot may automatically delete links. Maybe you want to wait for a official thing. I'm not Eddie.
He went suddenly silent once I asked who he was.
He was lefty till he flopped the last card opposite the normal way.
They don't have been open 7 years, don't lie.
I like Calfit.
If you guys are looking for a gym in this area,
Yeah.
apparently Calfit in Folsom.
Yep, they do have 2 basketball courts.
2 b-ball courts.
Yes, they do.
All right,
Room to shoot around.
Joel's lost a few chips, but not a ton. Still has
Still chip leader.
By 220.
Big Rob and Scott are chasing him right behind him. Second and third. And Sean is pulling up the rear with our short stack.
The caboose. Sean Drake caboose, which is definitely not a terrible spot for him to be in.
But it's really a juice bar. It's a smoothie bar, right? They don't cold press juice there. Poker Pro Eric was saying that Calfit has a juice bar in Folsom. I would argue they do not serve juice. I had the funky peanut butter one today after my workout, and it was not juice.
What kind of sick person lies and says that they're a juice bar and then doesn't serve juice?
It's a huge difference. I'm very big into juicing. I have a Norwalk juicer. If you guys know, it's like a $2,200 juicer. Cold pressed.
Wow,
fresh
Norwalk
juice.
juicing.
You gotta get the greens in.
You use a lot of ginger in your juice?
Ginger is a little spicy. It's a little strong to me, but it's really good for you. So I do add a little ginger, just a little.
Just a spoonful?
Just a spoonful of ginger. Yep. I like to do a lot of like kale, cucumber, lemon, spinach. Like the lemon cuts all the bitterness, and I get like a ton of greens. It's great.
So let's jump. All right, let's see if Joel gets saucy with King High. Nope. Showing
Scott's
some
got sevens.
worlds of discipline there from Joel, right? With the King High on the gun, King Deuce. I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes ago Joel might have opened that, but he's matured. And
I don't see him with a drink in his hand anymore. He was getting a little sloshy earlier. If I want to tell on him. Shh.
Apparently you're telling on him.
I didn't.
Here's the
see
news.
it.
Don't drink anywhere near Kasey.
I'm gonna put you on
She's
blast.
gonna be on the stream unless you want everyone to know about it. Fun fact, Poker B and Drake started at the same table together and are at the same table again. That is a fun fact. Thank you for that. It's always nice when you get moved to the like final table and then just sit at the same table for the entire day, as opposed to those tournaments where you get bounced around every third level or something.
Definitely good to be able to get on a table and get a feel for it.
How much is a buy-in for the tournament? Grill $327, $300. Thanks, Eric. Kasey is a cutie, just being nice. Okay.
Okay, so you're just being nice by saying
Wait, so
I'm a
like,
cutie?
is she a cutie, or are you just saying that because you're nice? I don't know.
Or I'm just being nice. I'm not.
Bees in tree land. She two to his right all day looks like a nightmare. Oh, okay, yeah. Deb sitting two to the right of Drake for the most of the day. So yeah, the buy-in for the tournament's $300 buy-in, 30K guarantee. It's gonna be 12,744. You know, smackaroos. I don't know. That's actually a weird term for dollars. $12,744 to first, and $7,800 to second, $54 to third. Currently, everybody at the final table right now is guaranteed $11.97, with the next pay jump being worth $500. So the next person out is going to bump that payday up for everyone else by about $500. So pretty exciting. Samvong jumps all in with Jack 3, which is a well, it's a loose shove, but 300. What does he have? 6 bigs. So he's just playing for keeps. Fold to him in the small blind, Jack high.
Deuces again, which with deuces last time is where he actually knocked out 2 players, right?
Right, yes. Joel may. I could see a call here. I think it's a 6 big blind shove.
I think
Small blind, big blind, you have a pair.
He's got those deuces in his head. He remembers knocking out the 2 players with the deuces. He knows it's not too big.
He remembers the feeling of
he knows that.
winning the hand and
It's like,
flopping
you know
a
what,
set.
I'm running good with deuces tonight. I'm going to call it. That's what I'm betting. I'm betting he calls. What do you think? He's a lot shorter stack
I
now.
think he's supposed to call because it's only a 6 big blind shove, and he's already got 1 in there. So you're calling 5 bigs, right? 169 to call.
Oh, he's gonna fold. Oh, he has gotten much tighter.
Oh, he didn't call.
No, he folded. Oh wait, he did. I'm confused.
The table is reassuring Sin.
I'm confused. Did he call? It says all.
Yeah, he did
So
call.
he did. Okay. I didn't see any chips go in, but I saw his cards showing. So.
Bacon TT7 is $500. A legitimate ladder jump to be incorporated into your decision making. I don't know. Depends on who you are, I guess. Some people know. I don't think $500
Now
is
you can
going
hit a
to
queen for a straight as well.
massively affect my decision.
And the deuces hold again. We have another knockout, or our first knockout since the stream actually
That's
started.
true,
Right?
yeah. Sandbong's going to finish in 8th place, take home an 11.97. Not terrible. Not first place, but, you know, could be worse.
Now, if I want to double dip here with the chats.
You can, I mean, if you want, you can go to the Twitch.
Yeah, I was. So I just. Okay.
Yeah, and then you can separate them and pull them onto each side if you want. I suppose I could do the same thing, actually. Here we go. So you just go pop,
Because I'm not
pop, pop.
hearing all of these teenage boys dissing me, and I really, you know,
I don't know.
I need that in my life.
Who doesn't? I am actually confused at the moment. I thought this would snap too.
I don't know who I'm in as. Oh, I'm not in as anyone. Is it going to tell me I have to log in before I can chat? Yep.
Alright, so we have 7 players left. We had our first knockout of the streamed final table. One thing I know for sure is that we are skipping whatever the first break would have been. I'm not sure if we've already passed that moment or if it is coming up. So we're going to be with you for a bit before we get a break. Big Rob gets the pocket deuces now. I'm sitting here trying to mess with the chat. I'm going to go back to just using the Twitch chat because, I'll be honest,
He's struggling.
not working.
He is struggling.
Whatever this Windows, I always thought Windows like snaps your windows for you, but apparently that's not the case on this computer. Page jumps are definitely should be taken into consideration.
Struggling to get both chats.
Okay.
Maybe we got deuces for Big Rob, who raised to 65, and now Scott has pocket kings, and it's 35K to call. Let's see what he's going to do. If he elects to just call and try to build his pot post-flop, or if he's going to bump it up.
Deval, if he had folded deuces, I was about to snap turn this off. Well, that would have been unfortunate. I'm glad that he didn't.
Let's see how big this raise is. It looks really big because he grabbed a bunch of clackers. So let's see. Come on, Twitch chat. You know what I'm going to do?
Well, if he's 3-betting off of 65K, it's probably like 200K, 180K. Just under 3x.
It did it. It did what you said.
Oh, right, yeah. See, I thought I was going to do that.
It's like how you do it, how it does it.
Let's be real here. Twos is going to have a hard time calling another 115,000, especially considering that Scott, well, he doesn't have him covered, but they're very close. Actually, he does have him covered because that's calculating Scott's 180 already in the pot. So next game you have on in Dark Edge. You can definitely get into the game. I believe the command is seat open. Seat open. I'm not in the thing, so exclamation point seat open, and it'll give you the information you need if you're in the area and you guys want to come out and play on the stream. There is a bit of a waiting list in terms of like you want to get it out like a month or two ahead of time, or like a couple weeks ahead of time at least. Probably like a month, 2 weeks to a month, just so make sure you guarantee a spot. So if you know you're going to be in the area and you want to play, definitely hit up JFK Stones about that. Alright, do you really think Sambong really regrets folding his 10 of diamonds down? I mean, I don't know if he regrets that. I don't, you know, if you thought you were making the correct fold, you know, would you really be that upset? I think in general, if you're talking about just the hands, you'd probably rather bust out of the tournament with ace-10 than jack-3 if you got the pick. But you know, I think Sean's going to get called here under the gun. 10-9 offsuit. Jeff's got ace-queen of clubs. Sean's only in for 8 bigs. Yeah, Divdondo, he did, if he's 6X, that's why I don't remember it.
Oh my God, Jeff lays it down. Sean gets so much respect. I'm just like shocked. Is this how he wins all his tournaments?
I could see Joel calling for sure.
You know that one ace is already gone because we just saw. Is it Jeff? Just saw Jeff fold ace queen, facing that shove from Sean.
Yeah, I don't know if 10-9 offsuit is a like snap shove approved shove there, but
Joel's calling it, and we could
oh my gosh,
Sean
calling ace jack. It's only an 8 big blind shove from under the gun. You have a big stack, ace jack suited. I actually don't really see a problem with that call. In fact, that seems pretty standard. When you have a big stack, you want to bust people.
A jack right there. So that's
we'll
good.
see though. Sean still has an 8
for a straight draw, yeah.
Oh, or now a 10, 9, and 8.
Or an 8. Got 7 outs.
Oh wow, running 10.
Dirty.
This is the kind of. It's actually funny because like Sean, when he won 2 months ago, had. He had like 3-4 or something in the big blind, and he flopped a full house when he was short. So Sean getting that key double up.
Yeah, that's was a big hit to Joel's stack. That was $300K increase for Sean.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, so Joel probably pretty frustrated there to see those running 10s. I can only imagine. He's got 845K, but Scott is sneaking up on him. They almost have even stacks. Sort of like, a couple big blinds away from having 10. It's one big blind away from having 4 stacks, basically.
And Sean's just behind them, so.
Now
Sean Drake has some chips. Yeah, exactly.
To be giving a bunch of chips to. Yeah.
Jeff was disrespecting himself. Jeff S is light years ahead of us. Perhaps he is, yeah. Where was Sean? How does Sean fold 10-10 earlier and make the shove with 10-9? You know what? I mean, people are going to play their game. That's, that is a, maybe he wouldn't even do the same thing 2 different times. Maybe he's just going with whatever he feels in that moment. I think a couple of the shoves Sean has made have been on the looser side, but he's playing aggressive, and his aggression has been rewarded. All right. Yeah, agreed. If Sean is in a situation where every bet he's making is not a shove, then he's going to have a chance to maybe make some moves here without having to just like catch some cards. What would have been better for see? Looks like limp call check.
Yep, and Knight's gonna flop the best of it. Not a whole lot working for anybody else. Joel could hit back
85,000.
85.
Looks like
Out.
neither player can fold fast enough.
Yeah, I think Joel is probably a little frustrated. But
with that flop?
And just with the way the last little while has gone for him. But it's really difficult to hold on the whole way through to a large chip lead. You're oftentimes going to take some hits, and you got to just keep rolling with the punches. So I think Joel can likely still do really well here.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to lose 2 pots, double a few people up, and then still be the chip leader by more than 100,000 and have 800,000, you're probably not hating life.
No, well, you shouldn't be. Sometimes it's hard to remember all the good when when that last hand is so painful. But you're right. He's still the chip leader. He's still got a lot of chips, got a lot of room to work here. it's like in football they talk about momentum, like who has the momentum in the game. I think that's something that does translate to poker as well. You can feel momentum shifts. You can also see it oftentimes in the way the player starts to hold themselves, and that can affect their play and their focus and their concentration. You start to see the shoulders slump over, or just a little more frustration. Yeah, so it's interesting how those psychological dynamics can play out on the felt, as well as on the field.
On the field and the felt.
That's right.
Joel takes down another pot with a big pre-flop raise. He would have gotten away from the ace-jack if Jeff's played. Agreed, yeah. I mean, it's like so much of what you do is based off everything else, right? If Sean was only facing one all-in, he's calling the tens. If he's facing two all-ins, he's thinking about it, and then he decided to fold it. You know, it's just every little thing that happened changes the, you know, in each person's mind, the value of their hand, right? Like, I think it's an outfold. It would be better if it was suited. Yeah, always better if it's suited. 10-9, I think under the gun, 10-9. Yeah, I don't think 10-9 offsuit under the gun with 8 bigs. I mean, it might be close just because like you only have 8 bigs, but I would venture to say you're looking more like 10-9 suited and then like Jack 10-10 offsuit. So maybe it is close technically. Now see, this is a spot where Joel is still getting a little bit like wild, raising under the gun +1 to 150,000, 5xing it with deuce 4 offsuit.
But look, did you just get, was that King Jack you just got to pull?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Jack suited.
You're happy just continually taking down the blinds and antes.
It can be a couple things. It can be a little bit of frustration and feeling like, hey, I need to take down some of these antes. I need to be using my chip stack. My stack's been going down. I want to get some momentum back, shifted my way, and let's go with the deuce 4. You know, fairly early.
Oh, and he's gonna show it too. Wow. It shows him the deuce 4 offsuit.
Nice. If you can't win with the best hand, then, you know, or it wasn't the best hand, but you're going to win with the deuce 4. You know, pick up on the weakness. I like it. Although it was pretty from earlier position, so it actually seems stronger, but it's harder to get it through that way. So you're going to have bigger hands behind you, possibly.
Yeah, it's a bit of that's an ambitious raise for sure, but stacking the chips, still has the chip lead, so we'll see what happens. Now he's got, you know, this is even still potentially, ow! I mean, this is the kind of thing
he folds the ace
that
nine off when he plays the
a little nutty and kind of like, I mean, nutty in like a fun, unpredictable way, by the way, not like, maybe he's a little bit of a nut, but
yeah, I mean,
just like you just make it 5x.
Like, I play different. I play kind of wild. You might not be able to quite know what I'm doing or what I'm thinking here. So yeah, so he just folds the ace-9 there. Now we've got a raise by Sean from late position. The cutoff with the Jack 7 suited. And Knight has a mystery hand, but he is cutting out chips in a very interesting way.
He's arranging them in like that's funny. Bad show if you ask me. Agreed, I don't necessarily, I think you definitely shouldn't be showing. But if your purpose of showing is to try to convince people, like, hey, look at how crazy I am, like,
right.
I'm making a 5x under the gun +1 with deuce 4.
So now I plan to play conservatively for the next 2 rounds and hopefully get called off in some good spots.
Knight 3 bets and takes it down.
Nice hand, and looky there. Night Night had ace queen. So Joel just seems to know what's going on because he had ace 9 there and just folded when he raised with the
Yeah, and then it's back up to 946
so,
too.
you know, it's like
just under
sometimes you're feeling it, and I've got to say, I think sometimes you just kind of have a vibe for what's happening in the rotation of the table. If you're keeping an eye on things, there's a lot of things you pick up on that we are not privy to here in the booth.
I'm a big fan of the back and forth we always get in the chat, especially when Poker Pro Eric is involved, because I feel like some people like to have a go at Eric in the chat, or at least a little bit of a go. Well, Eric definitely likes to have a go
Not a
at
little
some people.
deserving at times.
Eric definitely likes to have a go at people in the chat too. So the Sand should have called Sean with that King Queen and gotten that Sean Drake out equity. Yeah. Hey, that is a legitimate thing. If you're on a stream cash game, there's fun equity, right? Like you don't want to bust and you don't want to rebuy, so you fold your hand because you're having a great time and you want to still be on the stream. That's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
And you're not going to find it in any book.
I hadn't heard of that yet, but I'm glad to know.
Maybe I created that. Fun equity is
I guess
an incentive
it's been
not
so long
to bust.
since I didn't have the ability to rebuy. That it's like
Oh no, like not
hard
wanting to
imagine.
rebuy.
Oh, okay.
Like it's not necessarily inability to rebuy, but if you're playing a
You're
big
making
game
your
and
choices
Right.
based on not wanting to possibly rebuy.
yes, exactly. Fun equity.
Fun equity. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna start putting players on fun equity.
So Joel is in another hand. So that's the thing is Joel's playing a lot of hands. He's very active, and then he gets a hand where most people would consider opening ace 9 offsuit onto the gun, and then he decides not to.
Okay. Poker B has got King Queen, and she decides to shove it in here with King Queen. I like it. And Joel B has 9-10 suited, a nice hand. I like this hand also. He's got 33% equity in this pot so far. If it does go three-way, which it's not going to, it's likely Night Night's going to go Night Night. And Joel looks like he's also going to say goodbye.
Yeah, I like this shove, and Night Night's done Deb a favor here by throwing a little sweetener into the pot of a limp on the button. Not a huge fan of the limp on the button for this particular reason. You know, Deb might not have.
Inside, Deb is thinking, thank you. I just wanted you all to go away.
Got it through.
Break this money out.
Excuse me.
And it worked. It's my girl.
Bad show, if you ask me. Eric says there are no bad shows. The hands are all on camera. All these players are good. Nothing to be embarrassed about. 9-10 giving Joel PTSD. Joel 10. What's up? Oh yeah, here we go. They're stealing our clipboard away from us. That's a good shove with King Queen. Yeah, I like the shove by Deb. You know, a lot of times somebody's just going to put some money in the pot that I don't look super committed to. A limp on the button doesn't look like a really strong move. We're on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you? What the hell?
That one's supposed to be caught.
Well, the Twitch chat, YouTube.
Equals, Trump.
Oh yeah, that one. We should get rid of that comment too. It's a little bit offensive. I don't actually care. Whatever.
I wasn't offended.
Oh no, the Trump one. You can decide your level of offensiveness.
Okay. No, the Trump one I understand.
Yeah.
No.
Steam.
We don't need to delete the other one.
The scale one is not
What's really
applicable.
important here. What's really important. It really matters.
Hey, it's poker. Yeah, that's true. It's adult poker time,
Andrew,
apparently.
shout out to Kasey in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Where's my babe, Veronica? She's going to be here tomorrow night. Cash
Hey there,
games
Andrew.
tomorrow night. Casey's going to be on the table. Not on the table. She's going to be at the table
I will
playing
not be
poker.
on the table.
Oh, it depends. In Veronica and Friends, there's a lot of
That's
alcohol
true. By
sometimes.
the end of the night, we can all end up on the table, but the plan is to play poker and have some
And we'll have to
fun.
change the card protectors to see you on table 11 and not at table 11. Can we get some of those made? With a little wine glass that says see you on table 11? I would love that, actually. That'd be pretty fantastic. Where's the table? So she's going to be here tomorrow night,
Yeah, that would be.
7 p.m. PST.
Okay, we have a little hand here. We have a three-way flop. Joel with the 5-6. He hits open-ended straight draw. Scott has ace-jack. He's got backdoor clubs and 2 overs. And we've got king-9 for Jeff. So not much working for him except for he's got a 1 over. Let's see what happens here with Joel's.
Jeff says, oh, what up? And see, these things always... I'm like sometimes baffled because
Interesting.
I see not a whole lot of reason to bet this flop with King 9 other than you're in position and 2 people have checked to you.
So he's just betting on weakness.
I guess that's a perfectly reasonable thing. Now, Joel's open-ended.
Yeah, Joel is open-ended, so we was hoping to just kind of see it cheap here, but that's not going to happen. You know, Jeff, having played with these players for a while now, he may feel like if they had significant equity in the pot, that they would have put some chips in, and he's trying to pick up the pot in that fashion. But Joel does have some equity here, so Jeff's betting with the third best hand.
Yeah, this is really unique too because Jeff makes it 125,000, leaves 118 behind. So he's really in a bad spot here because now Joel makes the shove and then Jeff has to fold. So that bet is even more weird. I guess technically, wow.
Does he misread his hand? What?
Well, I mean, he's actually good, which is like the craziest part about this. It looks like he definitely confirmed does have King of Hearts, 9 of Spades. Jeff's not messing around.
Wow, but we saw Jeff fold earlier, like ace queen versus like a 10-9 off.
Oh wow! Here we go. Is Jeff gonna go runner? Actually, he's technically in the lead.
Now with the queen and
oh, the 6 of the river,
comes.
no!
Wow.
Yes, I actually like that new guy. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You like which new guy?
No. New guy said that because Jeff put himself in a situation where he can't really fold, regardless of what happens, right? Like, and so he actually followed through with the call. That he was
shows him to be a good tournament player.
Yeah.
You know, Joel, or in that the second decision anyway, and the first one we could debate about and question it whether it was good or not. Results oriented, definitely wasn't. A lot of people are saying the lead was no good. I really love Joel's shove there, putting him to the test. I actually like the shove. I mean, it worked out for him in the sense, but I don't know, what do you think about the shove there? It's kind of questionable because, like you said, you know, it's really hard for Jeff to fold anything there because he's already got so many chips in the pot.
Yeah.
And Joel's really hoping that you've got to be hoping he's folding because all you have is a draw there. So
I think I would have realized that he's probably not going to fold. That bet, he bet half his stack.
True.
I wouldn't be able to picture a scenario where he's going to fold to anything, which actually makes Jeff's bet look a little bit stronger because it's like I can't fold, so you shoving over me isn't going to do anything except for get us to turn our hands up or whatever, you know what I mean? So we lost another player. Seventh place. Jeff is going to take the 1696 home. Now each of the remaining players is guaranteed $2,000, 45 or $2,045. I was going to say $2,000, 45 cents because.
Oh, Veronica's in the chat. I can't actually chat because I'm not signed in, but.
Oh right.
Veronica
Hello,
says, hey
Veronica.
guys. Hey Veronica. Good to see you in the chat.
It's important to show hands to get events and everyone should agree, but I don't know.
A famous person has been spotted in our chat.
Yeah.
Here, everyone's very excited.
Any drink I'm buying.
Twitch chat.
because I feel like sometimes
Joel knows he's going to jam. Leading here would probably be better rather than getting in.
Yeah, I heard you saying. The more I thought about that hand, you know, because Jeff had put himself in a position to where he pretty much had to call regardless, the shove less golden there,
But Joel has a big stack, and he decided he wanted to play for all the chips. Like, he was ready to go. He didn't want to fold his draw, and he knew that not wanting to fold it meant he's got to play for the other 120,000 behind. But,
and maybe he has a small, tiny bit of fold equity in certain hands, or players who aren't willing to follow through with what they're necessarily supposed to do in that position with that amount of chips. There are some players out there like, you know what, I know I'm supposed to call here, but I have king high, and for him to make that shove, he's got to have me. I'm just going to go ahead and fold it and hope maybe I can someone else bust before I do. So, you know.
yeah, it's a bit of an ambitious move there by Jeff. And maybe it was one of those things where maybe he didn't think he had, maybe he didn't realize how much he had behind. And when he made that bet, he didn't know. Good night, Aptor 9.
Good night.
1.3 Miriam. Pointless show, to be honest. You guys are Scott's 3-betting. Oh, actually, it's not really a 3-bet. Night just limps. Night-Night's been making a habit of limping, which I've never been a huge fan of, especially under the gun limp with a hand like this. Ace deuce offsuit. I think you're just asking to get played back at and have to fold. Apparently he's considering not folding.
He's doing his chip
I love it, the army of chips.
And he's going to fold it correctly. Thank you.
Got the clip forward back. What's up? Oh, we're updating the chip counts. Is that what we're doing? All right, yeah, nice. So the updated chip counts, I guess right now, well, I mean, we've been seeing them, but Sean's got 325K. All right, so the clip was pretty accurate. 346, 433, 455, 598, 737. I'm just saying random numbers.
Our short
Pretty
stack.
good, but,
Sean has 11 big blinds. We've been seeing him sitting on a short stack most of the night, and he's still here. And a lot of other players are gone, so I like it.
Yeah, I mean, Sean's in a good spot. He's going to start shoving again with 11 big blinds. Here, I think he's in the small blind? No, he's in the big blind on this hand. Actually, no, he's in the small blind. Night almost mucked his big blind. Deb gets away. Joel is going to make it 400,000. Oh, I'm just kidding. He's making it 145,000, I believe.
I'm going to put you guys to the test.
Another, I mean, it looked like more than 120,000, but it's still 4x. It's either 4 or 5x.
But Big Rob has ace king, so
yeah,
he's not going anywhere.
It'd be interesting to see if like anybody had tuned into the fact that Joel is raising a weird variety of hands and just flats a big hand like this against him and lets him maybe bet the flop again or something like that. But
Rob,
I mean,
decides to shove all in.
Yeah, I mean it's reasonable, especially considering he's only got 15 bigs. Ace King is like primo 15 big blind 3-bet shove hand. 120 is only 4x now, pretty standard in terms. Yeah, 4x. I think it might be a little bit big, but you are the big stack if you're Joel, so you know, maybe it's not. I still think that the raise might be a little big, but
there's like a couple of different just trains of thought. So there's these people that are a whole ton of group of people that are employing the 2.5x pot, and then there's another group that is doing the larger bet sizing. And it's just, again, it's one of those things that whatever is working for you, but I generally enjoy, I mean, it also depends on the field, but doing the smaller bet sizing, controlling the pot, especially with these longer blind levels, and just really giving yourself a chance to really play and not have to play too many big pots.
You guys are probably right. Like flatting ace king at this stage of the tournament maybe isn't a great idea, but I'm obviously have the luxury of seeing Joel's open range, and I would consider it because Joel is not afraid to put money in the pot, and he's going to bet every single flop, regardless of whether he hits or not. And you never know. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, big in TT7. I think you could take two approaches. You 3-bet shove, or you flat and shove any flop, any lead that Joel makes on any board.
Yeah. Good point. I like that.
Joel is counting his stack. Joel seems to be counting his stack before every decision, actually. And is Veronica in here? Veronica was around. She stopped by to say hi. Joel gets a king jack suited under the gun, and it's gonna bump it. Okay, so it said 120 last time. Oh, that is ugly. So there's only 4 plaques. All right, so it's 120. I thought it was 145. 124x raise. 497 miles to Hollywood from Stones. Oh, really?
So Joel is doing again a 4x raise here with the king jack suited, and Scott has aces now, so he's gonna 3-bet to 250K, and it's not it's only 130 more to call, so it's really difficult for Joel to fold here, which is what Scott's trying to accomplish. But it also looks really strong.
Yeah, I would say, Eric, Joel is very aware of how many chips he has.
Yeah, the pot's got 439K in it, and he only has to call 130 more to win.
And I think the more that we talked about, because I think the more we talk about it, with 15 big blinds, flatting 4 big blinds with ace king probably isn't the best idea. But if there are situations where you just if you're getting a certain amount of your chips in, and you're not technically all in, but you're really you're all in your mind. you know that no matter what happens, you're getting all in.
Right.
So there's no difference if you're making yourself call any flop or get it in on any flop. There really isn't any difference besides can you get extra money from Joel or not, right? If that makes sense. If you're shoving pre, how often is Joel calling versus how often is he now going to feel compelled to call, or maybe even hits a piece.
But Joel's smart here because you can tell that he's really thinking about this, and just because of the pot size, you would think it's pretty much a call. It's a call, but he feels like something's off. He's obviously really strong. I mean, the bet's just so strong, to just basically min raise there. Just begging, please call me. So that's why Joel's having such a hard time thinking about it, but he does make the call.
Some people are very bored. I love it. I do think statistically or whatever, he basically min raise. One of the moves I guess people do often is this min raise with a big hand, like a min 3-bet or a very small 3-bet that prices you in if you're gonna call.
This is gonna be so cool.
It'll be interesting to see what Joel does here because he's debating.
Top pair. And he's gonna.
Scott has less than a pot shove.
The thing is Scott was the big stack, right? Close. He was third in chips.
Oh, he doesn't bet all of it. Scott is 479 behind and could shove for less than a pot size shove. Decides instead to go for.
It would be, what is Joel
a 200K bet?
Right, pre-swap with that he's now going to be able to fold when he hits top pair like this. You know what I mean?
True.
He literally has to put him on ace king, aces, or king queen or pocket kings, which with him having a king in his hand is just so unlikely. It is painful, but you know, he pretty much.
This is
a really tough spot.
This is the exact reason why people do this, I think, where Scott gave him the little like min click and prices him in, and then hopes he hits a piece of the flop, so where they can get it all in. Yeah.
Excellent, Scott. Excellent play. Playing
again,
by
a good
Scott,
spot to lead and give up.
Joel's just wishing he had probably had folded free.
Yeah, and this may have been the exact scenario that Joel was dreading, where he isn't sure where he stands and then flops a king. He could be thinking he's behind ace king, he could be thinking he's behind aces. Obviously, I think if he thought he was...
Oh, he moved all in.
Oh, yeah, wow, all right.
So, oh, man. So, Joel drawing really light here. He's got 5 outs. If a spade comes...
Some backdoor spades?
Yeah, spade comes, he can pick up some more outs. And Joel's just gotta feel sick.
We're gonna have to have a heart-to-heart soon. Hey, Brent, if you were Joel, would you just call King Jack here or shove figure in your head?
Definitely. But when he does pick up out the spade out,
I think
now he stands
flat. Honestly, Eric, I think you flat with you check call, see what happens on the turn. I don't necessarily think shove
is ever easy. As Joel just found out.
I mean, you can always check call and then fold the turn. I mean, like, every street is like a new thing based on, you call the flop to slow him down and see if he continues firing on the turn. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be really hard for him to get away. Like, almost no times. Like, if you ran that same scenario out 10 times, if he's calling that small raise pre, he's probably not getting away from that very often.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, makes it so hard to get away from it there, like basically impossible. Janae Smith is a big Joel fan. She is upset about that loss. I understand.
I mean, he's probably going to be now close, like still in the middle, maybe like the top of the bottom part of the pack. I don't think he's. Oh wow, I don't know. He's going to have like 400 or 500. So.
Gosh, yeah.
You missed so many flops and have to fold most of them to Tyson. I do. Let's see. On that ace king hand, anything other than jamming would be incorrect. I think that's the big problem with the 4x raise. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Turn ready to pick up this. But I guess my point is, like, if you. So you have 15 big blinds, you have ace king, and you are saying as soon as the action is on you that regardless of what happens, I'm all in this hand. Now it's just, maybe there's a different way to get all your chips in and actually have somebody call off. A raise pre-flop, all in for 15 big blinds, it's probably less likely to get a call than a flop, if you see the flop. I mean, if you're effectively all in and you just play it that way.
I'd like to see what his. Oh, so he's got 450K left now, and the dynamics of this final table has just.
Oh, it looks like we're going to break.
That's a big hand. Would you
we know that because we go boom. Here, let's see. Play. This is such a philosophy game. Would you rather pay out with blacks or pink chips? For speed, maybe the big chips. I mean, it's like if you just doubled up, would you rather him just pay you off in blacks or?
If I had like a ton of pink chips, I don't know. Sometimes I don't like having this huge mountain.
So some people like having a ton of physical chips, like all of the chips in front of them.
It's fun to take a picture and have a big stack, but I mean, just like for actual mobility.
I don't know.
Being able to move around a little bit.
I'm not a huge fan of like all of the chips, but I laugh when people are just like, oh, I just want infinite chips. Just like give me all the chips. I'm gonna hold them. They get mad at the floor if they want to like color them up, and it's just like, hey, I can barely touch my cards. I've got like this huge thing. If I sneeze, it may knock it over.
But I agree. Yes.
But I don't know. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Ray? So we are at the first break of the final table with 6 players left. So we have a few minutes to tell you about. Are you gonna? I know you're not a huge tournament player, but are you excited about the Battle of the Ages?
I am more than just
Battle
excited.
of the Ages. Yeah.
I am.
Did you look at this already?
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I think this is super fun. And it also got picked up, I heard, by Upswing.
Right, yeah, there's an article about it on Upswing. This is a unique thing. I mean, I don't think, personally, I'm of the opinion that obviously this is not going to decide who the best age bracket of poker players are, but it's going to give everybody a chance to, you know, maybe a little bit of trash talk, like friendly trash talk, I think could be fun. But we've got 2 flights for the 50 and over crowd, 49 and over. 1 flight for the 21 to 49.
Wait,
and,
we have 2 flights for the...
Yeah, I know, right? Right?
Oh, okay.
So 2 starting flights for the over 50 crowd. Technically you have 2 starting flights for, I guess, for the under 50 crowd. So Wednesday the 7th, 10 a.m., Thursday the 8th, those are both over 50 flights, top 15% qualify, 15K chips, 30-minute levels. I'm just like spewing out stats, so I know this is like super exciting. And if you were already...
I'm going to be curious as to see how many over 50s we have.
Oh, I think it'll be huge. I think a large, well, I mean, I don't know. In this area, I do know that they have like a Western Senior Poker Series sometime. Oh, what's up?
Do you need anything?
I think we got them all. I'm pretty sure we got them all.
You have the Jonathan Little one?
Yes, we do. And Lance puts it up on the thing, so it's like perfect. It's like we have it without having to have it. So yeah, okay, so Battle of the Ages, there's going to be cruises up for the top finisher for each age bracket. So over 50, even if you don't win the tournament, you can, if you're the furthest, if you're the last person standing for your age bracket, you're going to win the cruise. So 3 spots for each age bracket guaranteed at the final table. It's going to be interesting. It's going to create some interesting dynamics because I kind of think if there's like 20 people left and you have 3 people bagging for the final table, that those people are going to be at maybe a large disadvantage when they get to the final table because there's so much play has happened without them.
That's a really great point, and it's something, a dynamic I hadn't thought about until you brought that up with you in Veronica's game. But yeah, definitely, you're not going to get a chance to play in some of those later rounds.
Right, it could be interesting. So maybe you'll have amassed a bunch of chips, but I think if you know your top 3 and all you have to do is outlast those 2 other guys or girls or people for the cruise, then you're not in a bad spot. So let's see, I wish I would play this Battle of the Ages. Oh yeah, the Battle of the Ages thing could be really fun. It's a a multi-flight tournament. It's got a 50K guarantee, and the buy-in I think it's $250. Let me double check. $250 buy-in. Yeah, so that's the Battle of the Ages buy-in. Another tournament that's coming up. It's going to replace. So every Sunday that isn't the last Sunday, there is a 6-max tournament. I think it's a $100 6-max tournament.
Okay.
That's been around for a few months now, but on. I want to say, well, I'm gonna on the Sunday where the Patriots play the Eagles in the big game is the Big Game Poker Tournament. $125 buy-in with splash pots for every scoring play except for safeties. Unfortunately, no scoring plays for safeties, but every touchdown, $50 cash into every tournament table pot, and every field goal, $25 cash.
Nice.
Pretty exciting.
I think I'll be here for that one too. It sounds like fun.
I think Stones is definitely a cool place if you want to come when there are sports on. A lot of the football games, they do this like splash pot thing where if there's a touchdown, they pick a table to do a splash pot. Here, because it's the big game and because it's going to be a huge thing, everybody's going to be ready to splash in $50 to everyone. And it's like tournament pots too. It'll be super dynamic. We talked a little bit already about the Jonathan Little week. Win the button tournament, $300, 30K guarantee, I believe, $100 bounties.
And did we already do the?
Let's see, hang on. There's so many things here. Oh, 30K guarantee. What's
okay.
up?
Did we already have the puppies for Huskies tournament?
Oh, maybe we don't have that one. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have that. I don't know if we have that.
Bounty edition.
But yeah, so $100 bounties. February 19th.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, I mean it's basically it's not the same structure because it's 30-minute levels, but it's similar to this tournament in terms of buy-in and guarantee. But you're getting $100 bounties.
Yep.
Also, the win the button. The first one was a huge success here, and we're running it again. Then there's going to be tons of cash games. Jonathan Little is going to be in the Veronica and Friends 1-3 game. He's going to be in the booth for a 1-2 game. And then in the booth again for a 10-25 game on Friday night. Or excuse me, that one's on Thursday. So occasionally we are here outside of the Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing. Usually that's when we have special guests. So Jonathan's going to be here for that week. So far this year we've had Chris Moneymaker week, Omaha week, Jonathan Little week. Some pretty great weeks.
Yeah, and now I heard we were going to have another crusher coming in. Did you hear? There was an announcement.
Oh, I don't know. I heard something else, but I don't know if I'm allowed to announce it.
No, they announced it.
It's which did they announce? Do you know what it is? Now you're not sure?
No, I know they announced it, but I don't remember. I don't know who they announced. I just heard that they had made the announcement.
I believe there is at least some news coming in terms of some popular stream type peeps that may be coming through the area. But yeah, like I said, I'm not 100% sure that I can tell you about that yet, and I don't want to get in trouble. So
trying to trick you into
tough crap. Yeah, exactly. Kasey basically just baited me, and
no, they really did announce it.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. This is called Doesn't matter if you're peeking. Ghost of M, what's up? How's it going? Hearts all over the place. We are on the break of the 30K guarantee last Sunday tournament. Okay, Jason Somerville. So the Run It Up crew. If you know me, you know I love Run It Up. I've been to like the last 5 Run It Ups. Jason's fun, a lot of fun crowd. It's gonna, the chat's gonna blow up when Jason's here. We typically have a small, devoted group, or maybe not a small, a medium-sized devoted group. When Jason's here, it's gonna blow up. It's going to be tons of people.
That's going to be really fun. When is it coming? When is
probably April-ish, because I know that this is always fun when people just pop in and say hello.
I saw you guys were having fun, so I wanted to come in and say hi.
Fat Train, Justin Kelly,
so far?
come in, hang out.
It's been a great one.
He's wearing a Poker Go sweater, though. What's that about?
Shouts to Sean.
Poker Go. So he's a Aria shill over here.
Don't tell anybody.
What? Oh, no.
Because of the Poker Go.
Poker Go, yeah. It's okay. Poker Go is fine. It's fine. Whatever. I mean, this is free. If you really, really just feel like not having $10 every month, fire your... Actually, no, that's too low. Poker Go is doing it.
$99 for 12 months, and it's...
You know what? I'm going to just shout out, if you want to do the Poker Go, use the code REMCO. The monthly code REMCO.
Yeah.
Get your discount. You could pretty much type in the first name of any poker player.
There's a discount for everyone, so choose a name.
But we're back at it. I know Poker Go is doing the U.S. Poker Open, which is a series of poker tournaments. They're going to have mixed game and PLO and Hold'em, and they're going to pick a winner based on the results of all those tournaments. So that seems like a cool thing. It's almost enough for me to go pop that subscription again, but I don't know. Let's see. We're back at the action. Joel is back in the pots. Folds King 9 in the big blind to the Poker B raise.
Mackenzie says, when are we going to meet in Vegas again and play 2-5 or 5-10? Mackenzie Carlo, I need to see who you are. I don't know. I don't know.
So the question
is your name Mackenzie?
What was the question about?
People I'm thinking of here. I played with quite a few people. Did you play with me in Vegas recently? Because I was in Vegas recently.
Oh wow! Wait, so Lex Veldhouse is coming too? With Jason Somerville? That's pretty exciting.
That's the female crusher, right? Veronica told me about her coming. That's really exciting. Also,
Lex Veldhouse is like
female
Dutch male guy. He was yeah. I'm not sure.
Just kidding.
I'm sure there's plenty of like.
No, but there is a female crusher that's coming because Veronica told me that she's coming, and we're gonna go to dinner, and she's gonna be doing commentating. But I don't know who it is. I just heard the name Lex. I assumed that was who it was.
Joel's ripping it. 380,000. So I think we're at 40. Wait, 20, 40 big blind.
Okay, we're back on here.
And Joel's getting them chips.
All
So
in.
I think the next Battle of the Ages should have 4 age groups. I think the problem with 4 age groups for the Battle of the Ages tournament is that you are now running. You're running like so many flights because you want to get all those age groups in there. But who knows? This is the first tournament like this at Stones. Justin is very. I would say very ambitious when it comes to let's come up with some tournaments. Let's try to change. Let's try to put out some new stuff. Give you guys a chance to play and watch some unique tournament poker. The Win the Button Bounty tournament. There's not a lot of Win the Button tournaments. I have never heard of a Win the Button Bounty tournament. So that is a first as far as I'm concerned. Definitely going to be fun and a different type of experience. That final table of that is going to be streamed with Jonathan Little, like we've been telling you about for weeks. It's coming up February 19th. So
yeah, that's why I love playing at Stone so much, and why I'm always here. Is we always have something going on, and it's always fun. It's just a really fun room to play in. Just everyone's here to have a good time. It seems like, and always have something to do, something new. I think the Win the Button Bounty Edition, like you were saying, it's something I haven't heard of, but it seems really fun. When we did the cash game, Win the Button game, it changed the dynamic of play entirely. It was totally different. We had to draw for seats. Again, Joel's all in here with the A7 this time. Scott's got King Jack, and he's considering a call.
Bacon TT7 says, I think Justin dreams about new tournament formats. That may be the case. When you do something long enough. I think the March appearance for Vanessa Cade, which we hooked up in the chat when Vanessa came by to say hello, and so it's nice to get some more people into the Stones live crowd. Vanessa's been streaming on Twitch a lot. She's a cash game player, and you guys will either get along or you'll hate each other because it'll just be competitive, right? Maybe not hate. Hate is a strong word, but it'll be might rev up the competitive.
Rev up the competitive juices, but there's still, it's all love in the end.
Right.
And Scott really he's really thinking about calling with the King Jack here.
Joel, good mind shot, and he calls.
These other players, he does call. Okay. And Big Rob has 9.
Oh wow!
My gosh.
And this is a spot where so Sean snap folds the 10s. This is another thing where Rob no thanks.
Mackenzie, I remember when the guy freaked out about the hit and run. He was going crazy. And if you're who I think you are, I remember playing with you as well. I think that
I know it's been a long stream.
Thanks,
work going on.
I lost.
You know what? Come on in. We all know you want to say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Under the guise of bringing us water.
Whenever you guys need service on booth 1, let me know.
In the window. So right now, Joel best with the 7s. He was already best with the ace high. So we're just he's trying to avoid a K or a J.
A K or a J. That's pretty much all life. Trying to dodge the Ks and the Js.
Gets it.
Oh, Joel gets the double.
Yep.
Just in time. What do you think about that? Who are you cheering for?
You know what? The funny thing is, I know I've played a lot with Rob there at C9. I've obviously played a lot with Deb. We've seen Joel on the last couple streams.
Right.
And then obviously you have Sean Drake. I mean, this is not a table I necessarily want to be sitting at. There's a lot of pretty solid players here. I don't know. I don't know, man. I know my 3 or final 4, and I wouldn't be surprised if it gets whittled down to them.
I want Deb to win.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking it's final 3. I'm thinking Scott's going to get eliminated, and the other guy, I think it's like 5. I don't know. He's going to get eliminated. Everybody else, I think, is going to go pretty hard in the paint.
Joel just got all of his chips back that he gave Scott earlier.
Still only a 12 big blind shove, so the King Jack call is not.
The thing is that against some of these other players, I think Scott wins. I think.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
Joel had just shoved, earlier, and I don't know if he showed that it was a small baby ace, but I think he did. And then he shoves again, and he's just been hitting this massive downswing, and
Joel reclaims the lead, but Scott still has almost 1 million chips, so they're kind of 1-2 punch at the top here.
Yeah, you would think would be trying to get rid of some of these short little baby stacks, but they keep ending up battling out.
I think you call with 9s if King Jack doesn't shove. I mean, you got 6-handed, you're facing a 12 big blind shove. The pay jumps in this particular tournament aren't massive. I think 9-9 could totally be a call there. I mean, I think you like calling with 9-9 more than you like calling with King Jack. But, Scott wants to take out a player. He's looking at it. It's only 12 big blind shove. He wasn't too far behind. It'll be interesting to see if Joel keeps going really aggressive, because now these raises are going to be pretty big. I mean, when you're looking at even the big stacks, like Scott's only got 25 big blinds, and he is in second place.
Right.
So Joel only has like 30 bigs, maybe 28 bigs.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect now that he's doubled up his chips that he's definitely going to play it differently. I can't see him, he's definitely not shoving anymore, but I still expect to see him opening up a lot of hands and trying to put pressure on, because that's what he's been doing, and it's been working for the most part. But yeah, this is an interesting final lineup. I think that got some Sean and Poker B still hanging on. Sean's down to 6 big blinds.
6 BBs.
But he doesn't panic.
We call that Hollywood territory because...
There we go. But I don't think Sean's folding jacks.
Probably not. But you know what?
But
to each their own.
Hollywood got to second.
That's true.
And
yeah, exactly.
If he
you
had
can't
actually called in at least one of those spots that I know everyone was like, "Oh my God, he's got to call there," he would have lost and he would have been out of the tournament. So sometimes you feel like a nut. Feel it, and the nut is.
Sometimes you don't.
Nut or butter when you get paid at the end.
That's always been like one of the strangest things. I don't think I've ever said, and I'm going to say it now. I almost said it for the first time ever.
But let's be real here. There's nothing dirty about
No. I'm not.
Nut or
It's like
butter,
it always struck me as sort of like an awkward term that
you can make
I just
butter
never said.
out of any kind of nut.
Nutter butters are great cookies, so I guess technically I have said nutter butters before in my life.
Yeah, you just
I just said it twice. But yes, the cookies. Although I've never called them by name, I was like, give me some of those. Or just like grunt, cookies. That's right.
Oh.
Scott's making it 130,000 with King 10
like
of the clubs.
Good nutter butter to liven up the chat.
It's one of those things too where, like, I don't feel that draw that some poker players feel when someone gets short, to remind them that all they need is a chip in the chair. I don't do that. I don't have that, like, there's no pull on me to tell someone that. I'm just going to assume they know.
Right.
Because they're playing poker.
That they actually still are allowed to be sitting there.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's true.
You do realize you still
it's not
have
over.
a chair that a chip.
Despite the random crap I say in here, I don't say that at the table.
In case you didn't know. Still alive. I love the hair when you.
It's like a weird habit.
It's like I do it too. I noticed on my first commentating, I was like flipping my hair the whole time, like, okay. Yeah.
All right, so we got some people cheering for Deb. Sean out in 6th per the bottom line scroll. No, Sean is not out in 6th. Unless.
Go Deb. Did you miss it?
Hold up.
We were talking?
No, I don't think so. I think.
Are craziness.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, if you guys are just tuning in, which I think a few of you are, 30K guarantee, $300 buy-in tournament, last Sunday of every month. I'm just assuming that we're just constantly getting people.
Okay, that's true.
And, you know, because we're huge, we're like the biggest stream of a card room in Citrus Heights ever.
Yes.
Sean's shoving ace-7 of offsuit, of the offsuit variety, ace of spades, 7 of clubs. Joel is under the gun and had raised, and it's only 135 to call. He called 100K or raised 100K pre, which is only 2.5x.
So this is the hand they must have been talking about. Somebody in the chat must have realized what hand was coming up next and knew the result. That's the only thing I can think.
Wow, Joel says, get out of town. This is like
6-3 is the nutter butter here. Like,
you can see Sean's face too. He's
no
like,
way.
Unreal. You open with 100. The Twitch overlay shows the payout. Says Sean got it. I think that was just like a preemptive, like, maybe we'll call that an Easter egg. That if you were actually watching the scroll, yeah, I guess we know the outcome of this hand. Although it's gonna, oh, a 4. Wow, you're gonna be kidding me?
It's gotta hit a 4.
Yeah. I mean, what a way to go out. And then Joel is actually
No,
doing...
he's gonna runner for 2 pair or runner for 2 pair or runner for a trips.
It doesn't have
now
him
he's got 3,
in
6,
6,
4.
so maybe it only had him in 6.
Sean doubles. We were
Wow, okay.
bamboozled.
Never mind.
The psychic was
Dimer either saw it or didn't see it, or maybe we assumed that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
We locked in Sean for 6th place. I'm not sure. So Sean is still in the tournament. Not about it. Wow, dude. Biggest stream in NorCal, exactly. We're basically the premier, not basically, we are the premier stream in Northern California. All the time. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And a bunch of exciting stuff coming your way right on Stones Live. So if you're not following already, follow it on Twitter, Stones Live Poker, at Stones Live Poker. Twitch and YouTube, both of them are going to be / Stones Live Poker. So whichever site you are watching on or you prefer to watch on, go ahead and hit those up. On YouTube, you can watch the videos, the previous videos, a lot easier. Twitch is a great place to tune in live. Nobody does it better than Stones. I think that is a, was it Nobody Does It Like Sarah Lee? I don't know if we can steal that tagline, but I like it. So Night Night's putting some chips in with pocket 3s on the button. Joel's giving him the classic, you know, let me see what you got, what you're working with, how many chips you got left with 5-4. So no one ever accused Joel of not giving people action, because he seems super eager to give action with 5-4, and if he does, it's gonna be hilarious, because we all know that the first thing that anybody's gonna say at the table is that he has 2 overs. So let's listen, because I feel like that's coming. Oh whoa!
What did you?
What did I do?
You killed us.
I killed the thing. The screen went black.
And our sound has gone down too.
What did I do, Lance?
Production, please help us.
Okay, so I went to turn the volume knob. No, it did go out. What?
I can still see it up here.
What is happening? All right, well, I can't see it there.
But
So
mine's behind, so.
Joel appears to still be
Oh
debating.
no, it went out. Oh my god.
Wait, did I do something? No. Okay. Well,
was it really just a timing thing that did?
If that happens, I touched this knob, and then it went off.
Twitch is down. Wait, are they both down? The stream is down on this very important hand.
So it looked like Joel was debating calling with 4-5. we are efforting the issue with the blackout, the Great Stones blackout. The beauty part about this is, as we are the only Northern California stream, we are still the premier stream, and we do have a bunch of
1,000 streams.
Oh, right, we would be the premier stream
For sure.
Splash points determined with every field goal touchdown. Yeah, so now that we have some time, I don't know. I feel like there's no way I could have done that.
Let's go over
There's
some
literally
of these
no way
again.
I could have done that.
We'll talk again about this for those of you guys who have just joined the chat. We have our 50,000 Battle of the Ages tournament coming up. It's a 250 buy-in, and there's going to be a few different days you can play. Wednesday and Thursday is going to be for our over 50s. Only over 50s can play on those days, and the top 15 will move on. You start with 15K in chips. It's 30-minute levels.
So it's time for me to go home. My shift's over, so that's it. We blacked out the screen, and
Justin's taking his ball and he's going home.
I'm new here. You guys bring me out. Okay.
Wait, so is that we're back in 19 minutes? Is that accurate?
Seriously?
I think we had so we're on a 20-minute delay. So if there's an issue, we have to maintain the 20-minute delay, which means that we have to accommodate accordingly. And maybe Veronica never would have let this happen, but to be honest, I don't think Veronica has any control over it. So maybe she just runs good. But yeah. Oh wait, go. Okay.
No, Veronica runs good. Yeah, she would have had this on lock. She would have just.
what's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, just popping in to say sorry about the stream. We're back in 10 minutes. We lost the stream. We got to reestablish a delay, and we'll get back with the action.
Integrity of the game.
Hopefully, we don't miss this huge 5-way all-in that just happened.
Oh, and they're there's jumping over the table.
It was
and
awesome.
They're punching each other. It's like a huge fight, first ever.
And Brent just got fired. So. Say goodbye. It's our last time to ever see Brent Harrington.
Yeah, so like production, Kasey and Commentators, things get running again. All right, Brent just killed us. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead and tell us more
Take that out.
about the Battle of the Ages.
The Battle of the Ages. There's a bull. Oh, and a calf. How cute. Yes, because we're pitting the wise versus the youthful. And
wow, so it can't be both
wise
youthful and wise, or
it's unlikely. You
or
probably
youthful
just
and
think you're wise.
Oh, wow.
4-year-old. He thinks he has all the answers to the universe. They do live inside us all. Anyway, okay, so 2 day ones for the over 50s. And then on Friday, February 9th, that's when us under 50s, the 49 and younger, can play. And then on Saturday, the February 10th, everybody can play. You guys can all play.
everybody can play.
Everybody, you can be 100 or 18, and they're going to combine the fields for our final on Sunday, February 11th, for all the qualifiers. 40-minute levels on that day, so we add an extra 10 minutes, and the day 2 players are all in the money. So if you make it to that day 2, then you're definitely in the money.
All the DJ players are in the money?
That's what it says.
Get out of town.
That's what it says.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's no block on how many people of each age can cash, but on the final table, there's 3 guaranteed spots for each age bracket.
Right. Yeah. The final table. We'll have at least 3 finalists from each division, and they'll be guaranteed their seat at the final. So when the 4th person left of the young group or the old group busts, those final 3, it doesn't matter how many people are left in the tournament, those final 3 are automatically going to the final table. Brent brought up a good point that depending on what chip stacks are at that time, that could be a detriment if you haven't been able to play more levels and chip up. But I think it's still going to be really fun. And we guaranteed the final table, and then the last person left from each category is definitely winning a cruise. So even if you come in 7th at the final table, but you're the last person of your age bracket, you're still going to win.
You're gonna get to go cruising. It's the Card Player, I believe, Card Player 2018.
And this is all
Poker
getting
Cruise.
started on February 7th. I'm going to be in this one. This one I think sounds super fun. I always like playing with the Wise.
It's the Wise.
So next we have the Win the Button. This is a tournament. We just did this as a cash game version. It was really fun. It totally changed the dynamic of the game. But this one's going to be even more fun because it's going to do bounties. And who doesn't love a bounty when you get to knock someone out? Just double fun when you also get extra money for knocking them out. We just love knocking people out. And now we're going to get paid for it and win the button. So exciting. So be there for that one. That one's going to be Monday, February 19th. It starts at 12 p.m. And it is a 30,000 guarantee. So we're definitely going to have some money in that one. And let's see what else we got here. The big game, we talked a little bit about this one earlier. I love the commercials the most of this big game.
I wonder if we're gonna have the volume up so that we can watch all the commercials while we're here at Stone's playing in the big game poker tournament.
If we don't, I'm gonna be upset. I'm gonna be like watching it on my phone because the commercials are the best part. Y'all know that in the halftime show. But anyway, so each time there's a touchdown, you're gonna get a splash pot. I love splash pots. Who doesn't love just extra free money just thrown into your pot? So $50 splash pots for every touchdown, and every table will have $50 splash pot. So you don't have to wonder if your table's gonna get one. You get one. Unless no one scores, which we know they're going to score.
There's going to be some points.
There's going to be some points because guess what? What if nobody gets a touchdown? Well, if there's a field goal, you still get a $25 splash pot in the next pot. So every table again. And let's see, I think that's about it on that one. Yep. Fun.
That's about it.
Fun stuff. Always
Who
fun
watched
stuff
the
going
Pro
on.
Bowl today? How about that? No one. Exactly.
We're all
I
watching
would
poker.
argue that we have more viewers than the Pro Bowl did.
The Jonathan Little game. This one we're really excited about. And Veronica and friends, I'll be playing in this game. This is going to be so fun. February 21st, Wednesday, Veronica and friends. We have a really fun, exciting lineup with Jonathan Little. Come down, come check us out. The whole room is just going to have an energy about it. Anytime we get one of these big pros in here, there's always a lot of people that show up that just want to be around, be here, and we're always having a lot of fun. And so it's going to start off Monday, February 19th with the Win the Bunny tournament.
Win the Bunny
We're
tournament.
gonna win a
Heyo.
bunny and a bounty.
All right,
So,
Justin, let's get to work on whatever the Win the Bunny tournament
free bunnies
is.
with every
Let's make
bounty.
one.
Okay. And then February 20th is going to be the micro stakes. It's going to be a 1-2 game that Jonathan is going to commentate on, and then of course the Veronica Friends on Wednesday, and then we're going to do a 10:25 on Thursday, February 22nd. So it's going to be a fun week you don't want to miss. We've got a lot of even more fun things coming up as the months come around. We've just announced a few other people that are coming in, and so very exciting stuff.
Mystery hand. I like that. Okay, so we've got 3 minutes before we get back to the action. We have 6 players left, and we are at 20 and 40,000. So, other than the obvious Sean Drake, I think a lot of people maybe think that Sean either going to run good or play good or a combination of both and win the tournament. Who you got?
I got my girl Deb.
Deb. Okay.
Deb, you know,
Deb's been relatively quiet,
I love
but she's
that.
still got a good stack.
You know what? This is the tournament. You can be relatively quiet, and then just 2 hands, 3 hands later, you're the chip
Did you
leader.
basically just say like you just need a chip and then like a chair?
No.
No, okay.
I just said you need
The gist.
to just be quiet. And not you be quiet. No, you do. No. No, I actually said you can
You did
just
this too. Just be quiet. Stop.
you can just be quiet and win a couple of hands, and suddenly you're the chip leader. And I got my girl Deb on this one. She knows what she's doing, and I see her taking it down. What about you? Who do you got?
I'm gonna go with Night Night, just because I want to see Night Night win.
Crush this.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, I'm gonna go with a little bit of an outside pick. Night Night.
Okay.
I think so. You know, you don't want to go with the obvious. Like Sean Drake's won enough of these.
Now, since I see Night Night and
Night.
Deb
Oh.
going to grab a beer and dinner over there, who's our next choice?
Yeah, wow. So, how do we feel about fake spoilers?
Yeah, that's not really true. They're all still sitting over there. But I would like to have like my backup pick and your backup pick.
Oh, but there's only 6 people left.
But I've only taken one. So
Okay, new game.
You've only taken one. You have 5 to
here's the
choose
new
from.
thing. Instead, this is what we'll do, and then we'll keep track. It's a very simple point scoring system. Pick how they finish, 1 through 6, and then we get points based on. So we'll worry about the points later. 1 through 6. So I'm gonna go Night Night, Sean Drake, Deb, Scott, Joel, Rob.
Okay. I'm gonna go Deb, Joel. I'm tossed between Sean and Scott, but I'm gonna go with Sean. And then we're gonna go Scott. And then I'm going
Putting my boy Night Night in last place, huh?
If I mean, it's so close. I mean, this is just like literally a hair separates everyone. They're all.
That's true. It's like a lot of people have like 10 bigs.
Yeah.
And the chip leader has like 22 bigs. So it's gonna get fast. It's gonna get a little bit wild.
Yes.
And it's probably good that we had this break because it's allowed us to get ready for what's probably gonna just be like maniac craziness for the next like hour and a half.
It's gonna be who can hold up whenever it gets crazy.
The official thing. I just noticed that the little spinny thing here keeps changing and showing us stone 5.
We're back up.
It appears that Sean Drake has busted.
Okay, so good thing I picked him for 4th.
Yeah, neither of us picked him in those spots. Okay.
Okay, so he is gone. Somebody was right about him.
All right. I guess yeah. So that was fun. I mean,
So what place did you have him in again?
I think second.
Rub it in a little.
Oh wow. So you're saying you got closer. Neither of us got points though, so don't get too excited.
Your number 2 is off the table. So
Right,
all
yeah.
your other picks are all thrown off, and I'm still.
That's true. Well, no. So the scoring system is high to low. So like, second place would get you like 5 points if you got it right.
Yeah, let's start keeping track of this, okay?
Oh,
The
yeah.
first place gives you.
Sometimes we're within. I don't want to touch anything because the last time I
Now,
touched
who did
something.
you stick up? You said Night Night.
I said Night Night, Sean, Deb, Scott, Joel, Rob.
Okay. I
Joel.
don't even think I put Rob in there on mine.
Oh, I see. Oh,
Okay, so
cheating.
Rob is getting last because Night Night is fifth.
I have to decide whether I use the fake ID that says I'm 49 or the fake ID that says I'm 50. Oh, I've never.
It looks like
Integrity of the
Joel is
game.
stacking
Jeff.
chips, so
Yeah.
they either got dumped or he won.
I mean, Joel apparently has to try really hard to not make chips in this tournament today. It's just Joel's day. I think.
Give Joel a little bit more credit.
No, I mean, it's not that he's like a bad. I'm just saying, on top of however good a player he might be, it also
also
just
run
seems
well.
to be his day.
Yeah, you know, and it's got to be. And to get to these final tables, I feel like it's kind of got to be your day. Deb was telling me she had won with aces like 5 times and won quite a few chips. But yeah, he's run extremely well. We saw the 7 deuces spades where he just like flopped the flush, and it just seems like he can't do wrong. Like he's just like he's God today. So as far as poker God. And so yeah.
Well, we're back here. Wait, are we going on break or something? Oh, maybe that. Oh, no, that seems
Maybe
strange.
they're doing chip up.
Oh, it may be
Getting
break
rid of some chips.
or like a color out.
It
The
says
clock is
that.
still going. It says we still have 10 minutes left. That might be
Clock is
off
stopped,
actually.
Actually.
Yeah. So, yeah. Pretty exciting. Well, Sean Drake is out, which the only good part about that is that, well, Sean, it's like some new faces get to chop the tournament. Potentially new faces. You know, Sean basically every other last Sunday is like top 3ing.
There, really?
Well, like pretty regularly. I wasn't huge, like not at all surprised to see Sean show up to this final table after winning the single table sit and go on Friday. So that should be pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Or that, you know, it's always fun to see some new stuff go down.
And I always like to see a female take it down, just to finish really, really strong. Like the more females that are playing and doing well, the better. I just think just not enough are playing. You know, just women can do so amazing in this game, but oftentimes they feel like it's just like a male sport. There's a lot more men that play than women, so you guys should come on down. It's a very female-friendly room here. Everyone's respectful. It's nice. It's fun. I'd like to see more ladies at the table, final table, too.
Ditto.
Yeah. The guys want to see it too.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And I'm
obviously.
telling you, they are respectful, nice guys here for the most part. I think one or two we could do it that
For them, we could do it that. Whoa.
You know, security's
spitting
really
hot
good, though.
fire.
Just like
Lost all chip amounts, had to count them. Oh, okay. That's
lost all
a
chip
thing.
amounts. Okay.
Yeah, all right. So it was a pause for updating the chip counts. Thank you, Stones Live.
Just gave everyone a chance to go to the bathroom, go make some popcorn,
These guys must be
get
tired when
ready
did it
for
start. Today,
the action that's about to go down. Because things are about to get real.
Well, Scott's shoving. Yeah, it's now a new tournament called Who's Shoving Now? It's Scott this time.
Okay.
We should do it like a 70s game
Rob
show.
Wilson.
Who's shoving
We got a lot of
now?
I want to see the updated chip count.
Night. What? Ready? Just
Yeah, I
go.
like that. Ooh,
Chip count.
shoving now.
Computer. Chip count.
I'm gonna do it all
All right.
minority report-ish.
Well, let's just try to eyeball. I'm not used to counting chips when they're plaques, but that looks like 275,000. That's what I'm gonna say. And Night, he only deals with plaques. He doesn't mess with these chips. We got rid of the 1Ks. It looks like. Is that right? No 1Ks? Yeah, right. We're at 30-60 with a 5K
Go
Annie.
Queen 6, he's all in. And Night's got to be all in to call with the 5-3. I don't see him calling it off with the 5-3. So you're right. This is just becoming a shove fest.
Who's shoving now? It's Joel!
It's gotten down to the end of this, and everyone wants to.
Deb is thinking about
She's under the gun.
calling. Nope, it looks like she folded and then he flashed these queen 4? Was it queen 4 suited? Let's see here. We had to input them, they will mutually. Alright, so we'll get some exact chip counts shortly. Looks like they're in Poker B. Deb's got 600K. 300 in pinks, 300 in plaques, and yeah, she's gonna be, or I guess that was the last hand because now she's on the button. So the graphic's gonna catch up in a moment. This is showing from the previous hand, so Deb's actually on the button this time. Roger's gonna be under the gun. He's got one of those. Wow, it's hard to tell. Like, he's got like 800,000. Roger does, I believe, and Deb
Folds on the button with their Queen 3. Joel's got Jack 7 on the small blind, 30K to call, and he is just gonna.
It looks like it was gonna fold. That's an interesting, interesting move, because that's a thing that people often do when they're pushing the blinds and they're gonna fold. But he apparently was trying to match the stack. And Scott checks behind.
He does not have a club in his hand, and we do not know what Scott has. It doesn't look like Scott realizes that he has not shown us his card. Now, Joel hits a jack on the turn, and he's got to think this is good here, considering
Can't check fast
Scott's checking. Yep. Scott's got 10-7 here. Yeah, so he doesn't have, it's a 7.
25. looks like Joel bets just 25
Yep.
into
And-
145, 120.
Yeah. Scott's probably gonna.
I mean, he might get a call
think he's
just
gonna
because he
call
caught
here.
a piece at
Yeah.
the end, and
Joel was so confident that he was good. He went for minimum, just, trying to get anything to call him there. He felt really confident he had the best hand.
Joel's gonna rake in some more chips.
Yeah.
Let's
Like
see,
it.
is this back on? I don't hear it. Oh well.
I don't actually listen or
Yeah, I know,
hear
it's
enough
more
anyway.
like
It just
Ruckus,
looks all
or not
weird.
ruckus.
Oh, I guess so. Joel had 2 pair of Jack 7, so that's pretty strong.
Wednesday, Thursday fights for people 50 plus, and Friday is 49 and under, and then someone who turns 50 on Friday won't be able to play in any fight.
Janae, I think they started at 11 a.m.
That's pretty funny. There is
yeah,
a-
they are tired. Oh, it starts at 10. Yeah, they are tired.
Bayo, there's one fight that's all ages. So there's a specific
fight.
under 40 or 21-49 fight, and then there's 2 49 and
Saturday.
over fights,
Saturday.
and then there's one all ages fight. So if you turn 50 on Friday, you can play the all ages one on Saturday. And I guess it would depend on what time you turn 50. But that's an interesting dilemma that maybe we'll have to consider in the future, as this is the first Battle of the Ages tournament here. So the average stack has 12 big blinds, not much poker play left. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit wild. A little wild. I mean, like most tournaments, once you get to a certain point, the structure's pretty solid throughout, but once you get to a certain point, you're just, the tournaments are designed to end. So,
We've got Joel with 1.6 million. Big Rob's got 820. Poker B 690. And then we've got Night Night and Scott. I'm sorry. Went too fast for me.
right.
Picking
Scott,
up the baby, the end, the bottom.
Night Night's got pocket fives.
And he should be probably
All in for
This, yep.
5 bigs with pocket fives. Fives with fives. Or 5 for 5.
Poker
Or
B's
whatever.
the Sam all out.
Yeah, this tournament starts 10 a.m. on the last Sunday, 40-minute levels, unlimited re-entry for the first 6 levels. And typically we'll hit the final table somewhere around 9:30, 10 o'clock. Or at least that's when the stream starts, so somewhere in that vicinity.
Ace King versus fives.
Classic
Big
race.
Rob versus Night Night. These are 2 short stacks, I believe. Or is it? It's Big Rob.
Oh.
No, Big Rob still has.
Night Night gets to
No, Big Rob has a
experience
ton
the
of chips
potential
left. Got 45
joy
left. Here's our other big stack.
of being counterfeited. Like potentially
Totally good.
it gets to be counterfeited. Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, because that's a brutal way to bust
He held up. The fives held
any tournament. Night Night's gonna double. Great job, Night Night. This is my boy. He's gonna get, what did I pick him at? Well, I think I pick him, I don't remember. Maybe I should have written down my picks. Oh well. I can just pretend. So each player right now is guaranteed $2,743 for 5th place and beyond. 12,700 is the first place prize. 12,700 and change. I think it's 44. 12,744. 12,744. We did lose Drake during the blackout. So the details of the hand are mysterious. There's a very big cloud of suspicion over the goings-on during that time. Age cutoff is February 7th.
He's got Queen Jack here. Let's see what she decides to do. She's under the gun. 60K to call.
She's got 11 BBs.
Sense a little bit of nervousness here. She really doesn't want to go out. She doesn't want to lose, and I feel it. But she's all in. She did go all in. Joel has ace 5, and you know, Joel would like to shove here. He doesn't like to call, but he is gonna lay it down. Is she gonna get it through? Come on, my girl.
It appears.
I think she's gonna get it through. Yeah, and if she doesn't, she is. Nice. Love it. Is it actually okay for me to just root for one single player? I don't
I mean,
have any.
sure. Go nuts. We'll find out later. What's that thing? It's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah.
Right? So, in this case,
there you go.
feel free to cheer for whoever you want.
There we go. And then later.
They'll be like, oh, that Kasey
Need to
is
just
so biased.
spread the love.
And yeah. You know, I think it's, you know, I'm just rooting for a good game.
Yeah. I think this has been a fun game.
Entertaining for all. It has, yeah.
Joel's play has been really fun to watch. We had Sean Drake, who's great to watch on the stream because he's obviously a crusher. Had a lot of other great players. We've got a beautiful female at our final table. This has been a fun one. It really has. We've got Night in there. Scott. Just a lot of fun players. Let's see. What is Joel's
It's like
here?
160. I believe 160 raise under the gun with 7-6 offsuit. Yeah, hey, Java Flop. I was going to answer the question, but I saw someone had answered the question. We're actually on a 20-minute delay. It is effectively live. About as, well, actually, it's pretty much as live as you're ever going to get with cards up. Coverage of any table. Let's see, really good game. Thanks, guys. Scott was about something on the hand. Kasey after. Yeah, JFK, if you are aware of what Scott was mentioning a couple hands ago, it seemed like maybe he was complaining about something, but.
What? Someone was complaining about something?
Yeah, I don't know. Scott was saying something. The chat seemed to think that Scott was upset about something.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know what that was about. Was that? I thought that was during our blackout period because I hadn't actually seen that. Or
Oh, okay. So he's saying he couldn't bet the amount that he bet.
Oh, okay.
All right. It seems like a pretty easy fix.
Oh, he's saying he can't call 25K because Joel had to bet at least 60K to come in to the pot because the blinds were at 60K, so the minimum bet is 60K in that spot. That's why.
Need to go to bed on the stream tomorrow after work, but can't stop watching my girl Deb. Carrie is going to be in the game tomorrow. Awesome. Get some sleep, or you know what? Don't get some sleep, and maybe Deb will bring this one home. You know, whatever. You decide. It'll be great.
Deb's bringing it home. I feel it. She's in second place now, you guys. Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
maybe there's
11
only
big balls.
100
It's gonna be
K
pretty
that
nutty.
separates the next two less than. But you know what? It matters. It matters to me.
Matters. You know what? That's important. That's all that matters.
You know. Let's see. Are all my picks still in?
I mean, we picked everybody, so all our picks are still in. Yes. We're really just like the best guessers because all of our picks are still in. Big Rob, Queen 10 offsuit. Big Rob's rocking the See You at Table 11 chip protector or card protector. And
Maybe a lot of blind versus blind going on here.
Where's your Snapchat at?
Joel is eyeballing Scott's remaining stack. Scott's got like 380,
Yeah, it's been folded around to
450.
him, so Joel's like, you know, I want to put the pressure on this guy here, or do I just want to call? See what happens. Scott's got a real hand.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
And when you're limping, you're like begging for
nobody else really had much, so.
the show. I think that's there.
And then he does shove. And now Joel is gonna fold his 3-4 diamonds rather than give up that much, 345K.
You know, tight fold by Joel. All right, so everyone else is 11 big blinds or below, and Joel is sitting at only like
40% of
15. What? It's 25 bigs.
Yeah, he's got 40%
With the
of all the
first
chips in play.
yeah. He's first place. He's got a huge stack, but he only has like 25 bids. So the buy-in for the tournament was $300, 30K guarantee. All right, night, pocket eights. Who's shoving now? It's night.
Night.
Shove! Less than 10 bigs. He's got
He says, I'm
9
gonna put
bigs.
someone else to sleep right now.
Come put someone else to sleep. I like it.
Night's making them go night. Let's see.
I don't think he's going to get any action from Big Rob here with King High.
In the big blinds?
Nah.
No, you're right. Definitely not.
Everybody else, if besides Joel, is basically rocking like very close to the same chip stack. So if they lost a hand against the other person, they would be left very short. What is
Okay,
it?
number one headman. Joel said bet 30,000 and Scott said call. The min bet was 60,000 though and was required to put the minimum call in. He was upset the dealer told him 30K and he had to put in 60K. I see.
Oh, okay. Those dealers, I mean, they're sticklers for the rules.
Yeah, so the caveat there is Joel said bet. So I think he was, forced to actually put out the full-size bet because he used a terminology that he had full intention of actually raising the pot there or betting the pot there. So.
Oh, Scott has kings. Hey, kings.
Kings versus an ace-10. We're gonna see something happen here.
Nope.
Nope. Night.
Night says nah.
No, not doing it.
Oh, wait, never mind. He flipped
Oh,
it
they
up.
called. I was gonna say, okay, that's crazy. Crazy talk, but here we go.
Crazy stuff.
Versus kings. Ace-10 suited. This is a good one. This is a fun one. And an ace right
Yeah,
there. You
Scott's having a great time. He's just having so much fun right now.
your number one pick is looking mighty fine though. Now that he's hit top two.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident in saying that Night is gonna
And he hits a boat.
take
just
the
to kind
poker.
of
Yeah, just like
really rub it in.
final needle, the irrelevant boat,
Extra salt.
the boat that didn't matter and didn't need to come.
Exactly.
So I think the dealer said that it's yeah, that makes sense. Like if you're betting, you have to bet the amount, an amount that is at the very least the big blind. In this case, that's going to be 60K. That's the minimum bet for any post-flop action. If you don't use profanity, you would collect $200. Who says?
All right, so we are down to 4.
Oh, wow. Tough out for Scott. Given that he isn't too far removed from being the chip leader, but even when you have the chip lead in this situation, you're not really...
So what did he get paid out for 5th?
He's taking home $27.43.
Nice.
Now each player is getting a decent little pay jump here, $1,100 to $38.41.
41.
So an $1,100 pay jump.
It's nice when you buy in for $300 and you leave with 4K, almost 4K.
Yeah,
You know,
not too shabby.
not a bad day for, you know, it may have been like going on 12 hours of work here, but that's a pretty good hourly wage. Break that down.
Now even fewer players for Joel to play against, and he makes it huge. 200K. I guess that's not really huge. That's,
He's like, let's get real here.
that's like a 3x, 3.5x, and he has got kings.
Wow.
Night. I don't know if he's just worried.
Oh! We're gonna get it all in here. And oh, Night just calls.
Crafty.
I've been pretty impressed with a lot of different things Night's done. Folding big hands in certain spots, calling at the right time. You know, he would have been very easy for him to just reshove here, but he decided to implore some pot control against the other big stack and try to see if they could just play a decent sized pot without getting it all in.
Bill's gonna make it 300K. That's half pot on the river.
And yeah, Night puts a decision here. You know, against a lot of other players, Night folds quickly, I think. But against Joel, because he has, we've seen him earlier. We're talking about it. He was showing the deuce for whatever the crazy hands were that he was playing, the bluffs. And this is where he makes these players really question what's happening in the hand and whether or not they should fold or call.
It feels like it would have been a very loose call.
Yeah, absolutely.
But,
I mean,
yeah.
he's high there, really, for that much. Yeah.
At this stage in the tournament, with it, yeah, it's hard to call a bet on the river there with just ace high. Be interesting. 4 players left. Deb is in the running for that first place spot. She's gonna need a little bit of help. 10 bigs. I mean, at this stage, everybody has to get a little bit of help because realistically, you're playing for all your chips, almost every hand you play, unless you're Joel.
Right.
Currently, the blinds are 30,000, 60,000 with a 5K ante. 3.8 million chips in play in total. So it's not bad. It looks like there's only about
Night can't jam because of ICS. Yes. That's what Don Doe said. Yeah, they're trying to not get it all in there. You know, they're the big stacks on the table. It doesn't make sense, financial sense, for them to play a big pot there against each other.
Joel is building a mountain of plaques, or the pillar of plaques. Pretty high up there so far. That's not too far behind.
King 9
I
for
feel like
poker
King
B.
9 on the button. It could be a full, a shove.
Shove here?
Yeah.
Yep, she does. Joel's got 9-5, and I don't see him calling here. He is going to lay it down. But now let's see what we've got. Rob's got an ace, so he may have to call this. Oh, no, it's going to lay down.
Let's go. Sometimes you kind of hate calling off anything with a bad ace.
Yeah.
But,
Four-handed though, and ace is really really pretty strong there. It is tough spot against a shove. You know, I mean, it's definitely a shove-worthy hand, but you hate calling it off like that.
sorry, that guy was very tall. I saw him. He walked in into my like peripheral vision, and I was just like, wow, that guy's very tall.
We always feel safe around here. We have very tall security guards.
So tall.
So
Oh, Dev's got kings.
ooh, my girl.
She's gonna open muck 'em. Just kidding.
Don't put any of juju on my girl now.
She's definitely not gonna open my kings.
She is going to open shove. And this is great because she's doing it back to back. So it just makes her look like she can be just a little bit lighter. Just a
She
little
only
bit
made it
lighter.
200K.
Oh, she didn't wiggle in.
Yeah, so she had, it looks like 13 bigs.
Joel lays it down. This like if the A7 lays down, then this is likely getting through unless Night wakes up with something real here, which we haven't seen his cards yet, but he is stacking up plaques. Show your cards. Yes, thank you. King 8. Okay. Deb, add a little extra 105. Does she show the kings? Looks like she showed the kings.
Maybe I
She's just
couldn't
like,
really tell.
listen, you know, that's, in my opinion, that's a good time. That's a time when you want to show your hand, something like that. Is like, listen, you guys, I'm not raising light, I'm not shoving light, you guys, just fold. Anytime I'm in there, just fold. I've always got
I would think like
kings.
if somebody's telling you to fold, well, I guess it's like a meta thing, but
Yeah, I just mean like just by showing those cards there, she's just basically saying, look, I'm strong. So you should, you know, maybe it gets her a little extra fold equity.
maybe. I think it's fine. I mean, it always seems a bit mysterious when you have 12 bigs and you're raising an amount that isn't an all-in. Or at least could be potentially mysterious, but maybe that'll throw people off, and maybe it will make it more difficult to like figure out.
Big Rob all in with 7-4.
Oh wow, this is super strange. Oh okay. Wow, so he gets snap called by Night, I imagine, with King Queen. And so far,
Nothing working for
not great
Big
for
Rob.
7-4.
Night, your number one pick is looking
I think we can
mighty fine.
all assume that that's a loose shove. 7-4. All right, so Rob's gonna finish 4th.
Down to 3, and then there were 3. It's funny to me, your number one pick and my number one pick are still in.
Who was your number 1 pick, Deb?
Deb. And your number 2 pick
Which is out.
is out. Okay,
But I think
yeah,
Joel.
Deb
I
was
think I
your
had
number
Joel
3
3rd.
pick. No, you had Deb as 3rd. I picked Joel like way
I
down.
said Night. Oh, I said Night, Sean, Deb.
Deb.
Joel's.
Okay.
So if Deb finishes 3rd, I'm gonna nail potentially 2 of them.
Yeah, well, my number 1 and 2 are in still.
Oh wow. Rigged, maybe? Jeez.
Deb was 1 and Joel was 2.
Climb that pay ladder, yeah. Buttoning against button shove, probably in the middle somewhere.
Go Poker Bee. David Olson is showing some love to some Deb.
And it's gonna. It's just limping. See, I'm not a big fan of limping. Limping in this spot, I don't think. Deb calls and Joel
Nobody
checks his
for
option.
anything. Oh, we got a flush draw. Deb is going to hit a flush here.
Oh yeah? You're guessing?
I'm hoping. Oh, Joel actually has the best hand with a pair.
Deb. Deb checks. Joel makes it 225. Deb goes all in for 770.
I love this all in by Deb because it looks like she likely has a queen or definitely a better pair than threes. Like she said, it's probably a queen because no one raised pre-flop. So, but it makes it, she gets some fold equity along with her draw. I like it. What do you think about the shove there with the draw?
Yeah,
do you
it's
think
fine.
that she should have just called?
I think if he's going to lead for 215, I mean, this pot's huge right now. It's 1.2 million.
Oh, I want to see.
Oh, well, it's 1.2 million.
I want to see what comes. I want to see the turn in the river so bad.
Deb is going to break $1 million on that. Just behind Joel, 1.2 million to 1.5.
Girl, show them how it's done.
Yes, show them.
Show them. She now has. Everyone's about even. 1.2, 1.2, and 1.5. Joel's still the chip leader, but not by much.
Not be much.
Not by very much at all. Okay.
What was that? What accent is that?
I don't know.
Oh.
Could it be a Russian? I'm not sure.
Sure, yeah. No, I'm just curious.
Right.
I didn't know if you had a plan with that or if you were just like
There was
exploring.
no plan. You know, I was just thinking of, I think, maybe Rounders, the Oreo guy.
Oh, right. The Oreo guy?
Yeah.
Teddy the Oreo guy. All right. That's some three-handed. Ooh. 99 got aces. I foresee a Shug Fest heads up. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
What's your name? Alright, we're all drinking shots, right? Good?
So three-handed, pretty much even stacks. And 12K to first, 7,800 to second, and 54.37 is locked up for one of these players, or all the players are getting at least 54.37 for this $300 buy-in tournament. It appears 99's got aces 2 hands in a row. Wow. Or 2 of the last few hands. He can't believe it. He's throwing out the what the heck is going on?
I do now.
So he gets aces in the small blind, and Deb's only 7-5 of clubs. He's limping the small blind, and Deb sends it through. Check again.
He hits a pair here. He's gonna bet. He bets 120K.
Rob's saying bye to Night. Our 4th place finisher, Rob. He took home 38.41.
Deb calls with her 5s, and she now improves to 9s and 7s. Night still best with aces and 9s. Now is when he gives her, you know, like, hey, actually, I'm gonna keep going here. What is that? 210. Yep. 210. And Deb's like, what's happening?
10.
What's happening? She calls, and he shows her the bad news.
Terrible, just really terrible news.
Yeah, that was an 800K pot. So Deb lost like 400,000. 400,000 there, which should put her around the 800,000 range.
Joel is under pressure a bit. Deb's about to pull Hollywood. Playing much better doing it. Night-Night keeps it. So Night-Night's creeping up above the chip lead, 40 some odd percent of the chips. But there aren't, I mean, there's not really like a ton of chips. Basically every hand you could have a new chip leader. That's how tight this is right now. So they're gonna need a little bit of luck to, you know, make some good decisions, but also run good when you get all in. This looks like a shove. Ooh, I mean, it's close. Joel lets it go. So even Joel understands that like there aren't a ton of chips in play right now. If you double up Deb, she's gonna have, you know, 1.7 million, and you're gonna have 800,000.
I haven't looked yet, but okay, let's go.
I'll tell you what, I enjoy the tournaments, but occasionally it's like it gets to this point where it's like shove, fold, shove, fold, shove, fold. But you know, I mean, it's inevitable. We're going to get to that part of any tournament. I think it's going to be difficult, depending on how long we play three-handed, for us to get any sort of really like in-depth heads-up match. You know, it's playing very turbo-y right now.
Yeah. Deb goes all in with her 10-8 for 855, and Night-Night is going to fold his queen 3 for 75. Good job, Deb. Way to take those lines down. 10-8, that's definitely a tough shove. You did right. Picked up some money there. Chips.
You done good.
You done good, kid.
What do you think?
You good?
Yeah.
Did you tag all of you?
No. Just,
It took me that long to figure out today.
oh, do I?
No.
Now I just can't stop thinking about it. Alright, so we're three-handed here, 12-7 to first place, and I believe 5,400 to third is already locked up.
DF Fondo says, swiggity swiggity, she coming for that booty. Okay.
Alright.
She is.
Yeah, for sure.
She is coming for that booty.
I think that's exactly how Deb would have described it as well. Night-Night raises 150,000 with Queen Jack offsuit. Deb Poker B with Jack 7 suited calls. Big blind and flops a top pair.
But it's a problem because
Night-Night's top pair.
Got a better top pair. And even if she hits her straight, Night-Night will have the better straight.
Oh, that's nutty because it was just like shove real quick.
Wow. And this is going to be it for my girl unless she can pink a 7. Oh, she does! Yes!
Genuine excitement.
Thank you.
And Deb is going to get the double here.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. And now she is the overwhelming chip leader. And we love it. Because we knew it was coming the whole time.
Oh, yeah? You're just like, absolutely, no doubt about it.
I picked Deb to win. Bacon wanted to know if we thought Deb should have analyzed a bit more before making that river call.
Which hand was that
On
again?
the previous hand, whatever. Hold on. Let me. access my computer here. It's coming to me.
Yawning's become like an epidemic. Let's see.
She called on the river whenever she had the five. She had a pair of fives, and he had aces or kings, right? I mean, he had just like a monster hand that he slow played the whole time, and then she hit a 5 on the turn. That's when he bet out, and then he bet out like 100K, and then on the river he bet 210K, and she went ahead and called with her pair of 5s. So he's thinking, should she have really thought about that hand more and how it played out before she? Yeah, I mean, I'm always all for at this time taking your time, especially in this stage of a tournament, seeing if you can really put it together. Like what's really happening. He played the hand in a tricky way, he just stone cold limped, I think, which it was aces. And so it would have been difficult for her to put him on a premium hand there, regardless. And when he bets is on the turn when she happens to hit her pair, so she knows that 5 really couldn't have helped him. So I think she comes to the same conclusion that she's probably got a call in that spot. But also the question is, what is he continuing with really on the river? Why he bet the turn, but why is he continuing river when she calls? She obviously has some sort of equity. So, but I think you can argue it either way. But I think her call there is fine.
It's an interesting spot. 9-9 shove, 665 on the button. Joel's got Queen Jack of diamonds. I feel like this could easily be a call. Joel definitely likes his hand, but whether he likes it enough to try to bust 9-9 with, I guess we'll see.
Three-handed. Sometimes we just got to cowboy up. So he is going to go ahead and fold it.
Wow. I mean, like I said, goes either way.
It's hard. It's a hard spot there. We can see their whole cards. He can't.
I also think like both everybody's super short, right? Like even Deb only has like 22 big blinds. So 9-9 shoves 10 bigs. You're gonna have to win like a flip or like some all-in pre-flop. Your decision, you're not really gonna get to see too many, if any, flops at all.
You really want to be the one shoving. You don't really want to be the one calling up your stack. That tough part of the tournament where it's like one wrong choice, one misstep, and you're out, or you're doubled up. So.
Even a correct step and just some bad luck. The pots are going to be so big, you're going to have to put in so much money to call an all-in, even if you're calling it correctly. At this stage, they're so short. It's just like there's not a lot of wiggle room. Deb makes it 300K with ace-6 of clubs.
We just saw Joel fold the Queen Jack suited when he had the best queen. Now he's got King 10. He's really not going to want to fold again. To an initial raise here, I feel. Before it was calling an all-in. In this hand, he can call, and he's not going to. He's going to fold. He is definitely playing much tighter and much more careful. He is definitely thinking about not wanting to take third. Looks like first makes 12,744. Second makes 7,831, and third makes 5,437. So you can see it's a more than double jump from third to first.
Yeah,
it's a really big jump. Yeah. So these decisions are tough and they're hard, and you want to make the right ones, but at some point, making too many folds, you just put yourself at too much of a chip deficit, and it becomes harder to overcome.
This is a unique spot because often at this stage of the tournament, the players will like make some kind of deal. They're three-handed, and they're pretty even. So I wonder if that has been something they've been considering at all or not. But
Or if they've just talked about it. I know, I think it was Longcar, or somebody was telling me about how they agreed to pay first. They did like a ICM chop, and then agreed to pay first an extra certain amount. And so, and then they played it out after that. So, I always like to know if that's
played
for
the rest or whatever.
Yeah. So like they reserved back like an extra like 20% or something for first place, and then they did an ICM chop for the table. And so he was chip leader, so he got the best ICM and that obviously. And then he went ahead and won, so he also got that reserve money for first. So I think he may have actually ended up coming out even more ahead than he would have.
It's always fun. I mean, because the jump from third to first is so big, it wouldn't be a bad idea to try to make some kind of deal.
Justin said a deal has not even come up in conversation.
You know, and that's fine too, because actually that's a rarity, I think.
I love that. I like it. I know for a long time, you know, anytime I would be getting to a final table, everyone was always instantly wanting to chop, and I'm saying, you know, how do you really test your tournament skills? How do you really get better?
Right, nobody's playing the end of the tournament
right,
anymore.
No one's ever playing the end. You know, if your goal, which, you know, recreational players, I really understand it, but if your goal is to become the best player you can be, to be the best that you can be, I mean, ultimately, we want to win. We want to play those hands. We want to get better. We can't get better if you're always chopping everything.
What's up, Bowden Shad from Oregon? How are you? Sneak, what was the buy-in? $300 buy-in, 30K guarantee, 12,744 to first. Some shared outs here with 6 high clubs and 5 high clubs. Deb and Joel.
And
Deb's
Deb
gonna
has
limp
the
the
best
small
hand
blind.
with 6 high clubs.
It's got him pretty much dominated. It's basically over. You might as well just give her all the chips, Joel. Joel's gonna make it 370. Is that right? No, it's 250, I guess. And Deb lets go. And then Joel's showing her his hand. That's fine. I think Deb may have showed her hand, and then Joel showed his hand after she folded. So that's always fun.
Like, I folded the best hand with my 6 high. Painful.
Yeah. I'm excited to see this. I mean, like, you can make an argument for chopping or making a deal just because it is a very kind of shove, you know, like the decisions are for like 10 big blinds. The only bet size is pretty much a shove.
Right.
You know, making a deal, you know, to get like say 7,000 or 8,000 instead of 54, you know, and everybody gets closer to that 8,000 mark, might actually be more profitable long term, just because it is like a very high variance spot here in terms of your ability or your chances to win this tournament.
Right. I mean, we're at 80K big blinds. I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, next level, in the next level, there's only going to be 38 bigs in the entire tournament. Between 3 people. That means the average chip deck's going to be 13
I don't think
bigs.
it's going to make it to...
It might make it to next level.
not 3-handed.
Oh, no, you're right. Probably not.
I think possibly heads up, but I think 3-handed, I think we lose a player this round. I mean, it's possible that we could not, but...
always funny because like I can't train myself to not glance over at the table and try to like see what's going on in real time.
Oh, because we're still we're on a 30-minute delay, right?
I think it's 20 right now.
20? Okay. Well, and also didn't our delay shorten too because of our issues earlier?
No, I think that's why we waited because wow, 7 deuce shove. I think that's why we waited because
oh my goodness.
it's a dangerous what? How on earth?
Jack 9. How does he know? How does he know?
The great. No, I like the Jack 9 call. You're so you're tight. Can't wait to see you tomorrow, Karen.
Can we see the 7 deuce come off?
Oh yeah, sure.
Because we know it is.
It is Deb, by the way, Ben and Chad. I know.
Jack
You
9
asked it
still
earlier.
good. But Joel's the only one with a spade in his hand.
Oh, is this gonna be chopped?
It cannot be chopped.
It can't be chopped.
Well, 4. It could have been chopped with a 4. And that's gonna be like
A double for Night Night. Night
Night is trying to put Joel to bed. Like tight, Joel.
Night Sounds like a wrestling move.
You know, Joel, we saw him make some calls earlier that we were like, he was being pretty tight, you know? So to shove it in there with the 7 deuce is definitely an interesting line to take. He's just banking on, we're not playing the 7 deuce game. Right? He doesn't get any extra.
I feel like Joel might have
money
got
for shoving it in with 7
This is a different kind of equity. It's called story equity, like lore equity, where you're just like, yeah, I totally shoved 7 deuce off.
He was already planning on showing that.
Yeah.
You guys, 7 deuce.
Or if he won the hand with 7 deuce, he would have been like, oh, what can I say? I'm the greatest.
And you know what? You chose Night in this.
I did. You know why? Because like I felt we have like a deep connection. Night's gonna get a big double. Joel's still hanging in there.
Barely.
But I mean, pretty much anytime chips change hands, like the next person is like super chip.
Right.
You know? I mean, in this specific situation, Joel might be considerably more short. It looks like he's gonna have like, what if he has 580 behind, he's only gonna have like 7 bigs, but still that's 7 bigs, like all in 2-7, but doesn't call a jack queen of diamonds or call king
Right,
jack.
that's the hand I was thinking of, was the queen jack diamonds hand that we saw.
Yeah, he's a bit nutty. I mean, Joel's unorthodox style might have gotten him into trouble here and secured him a great 3rd place finish, but maybe not.
Yeah, we don't know. He still has a...
Shh. Wait, this is...
I almost got you to say it there.
Yeah, no. It'll be the run-up series in
Still has a
March.
tail?
Yes, the plan is to be at Run It Up in March. I actually was convincing Kasey that she needed to come to Run It Up.
I'm going.
So she's coming
there.
as well.
Deb and I are going to share a room. She doesn't know it yet.
Yeah, she's going to be free rolling that whole trip right now.
Yeah. She can pay for the room.
She also doesn't know that yet, but she's about to find out. Congratulations, Margarito, you got the room. I booked it already. Thanks.
I gave you a lot of support during that.
Looks like limping around. It's gonna be interesting to navigate this. Night could totally bet here the ace of spades. I think it's not even a bad bet.
Everyone's just like kind of
120,000 looks like, and takes it down. So he's gonna get a little bit higher, a little bit more chip lead. 48%. Deb and Night both rocking over $1,500,000, and Joel rocking the short stack 490. Still hanging in there. Still a shot here. We'll see what his push-fold range looks like now. Hopefully 7 deuce is not part of that, but you know what?
How could it have gotten tighter? How could it have gotten tighter now that it's more short stack?
True, but I mean, when the 7 deuce offsuit, I mean, I'm not even sure what amount of big blinds makes 7 deuce offsuit shovable or callable. He's we didn't see his hand, but he's shoving out from the button. 9-4 clubs. He's looking for any reason to put all of his chips in the middle. I'm actually pretty excited that it isn't that they're not doing the deal, but at the same time, like, this is fairly tic-tac-toe kind of one-dimensional poker, because it really is just like shove call.
Yeah.
Unless somebody happens to limp, and then everybody limps, and then they check and one person bets and they fold. So it's like fairly uneventful in terms of the actual poker, but it does give you some insight into your push-fold ranges of, like, when you're getting into the stage of the tournament, pretty much anyone who's betting should be shoving. And now it just feels, it has the feel of like a hyper turbo. Joel is going to shove the button for 580. Deb has King 10 in the big blind. We don't know what Joel has yet. King 10 is not a bad spot to call. I think Deb did. No, she folded. Call. Oh no, okay. She did call. It looked like Ariana Monkey. I like it. Great job, Deb. I actually think that is a call for sure. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, they've got all these people standing over there.
Yeah, the crowd is gathered.
And I'm going to try not to look if I want to.
Don't spoil it for yourself.
I feel like, well, I won't say because I want to feel it for everyone else.
Yeah, Joel's in a tough spot here. I think it's Lance rocking the Stones Live Poker account. It's whoever is in that first chair back there. So it could be Taylor, it could be Lance. Tonight did we run the board yet? No.
No.
They're wishing each other luck. I mean, this is kind of a fun dynamic because, like, nobody's really too worried about getting, about the money, really. They're just having a good time, hanging out. That doesn't look like a favorable flop. He's going to need to find an 8. 1-8. There's not... Oh.
Now we could do a 5 or a 4 for a chop.
You could do a jack or a higher, too, for a chop.
5 or 4. Sorry, Joel. She just hit king, queens, and 8. Oh no!
Joel, you didn't even know that.
How did I mess that up? Oh my gosh!
Maybe secretly deep down you really wanted Joel to win.
Good job, Joel. I thought that I had my reversed, but I am happy for Joel. He was the one who was going to be out if he lost. So now there's 3 players still in. For some reason, I was thinking that Deb had the king 8, but it's good. It's good because we still have 3-way play.
It's okay. Just kidding.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, it's just like I said, it's 7 big blinds is a lot. So now he goes from having 7 big blinds to Deb still has 1 million chips. She still has 10 bigs, 12, 11 bigs.
Not a big.
Oh, I mean, of course, like, you'd love to have just like a massive chip on your head.
How does he hit an 8? Because it's Joel. And he's going to hit an 8.
He's blessed, apparently. This has been Joel's day.
Yeah. It's like...
Trying to beat Joel is like, I don't know, trying to stare at the sun, apparently. Shouldn't do it. Maybe, I don't know. That's a bad one.
I don't know. I mean, I liked it. I wanted to go there with you.
Yeah.
I did. I wasn't quite sure how to get on that train.
Yeah.
But I wanted to.
Oh, thanks. The table before marked. Yeah, she called, and then maybe there was some miscommunication on that was worth like 4K in equity, I bet. I'm gonna get so lucky.
Oh my gosh, my girl. I didn't mean to scream for him, Deb, when you watched this.
Oh, that room. You're going to have to pay for the room now.
For some reason, I was thinking that the hands were flopped and flipped and flip-flopped.
Flippy flopped?
Flippity floppity flute.
Right, so Deb's first act. I think.
I mean, Joel, I'm friends with Joel. I'm friends with Deb. Like, obviously, I want them both to go 1-2. But if there is a female at the table, especially with Deb, gotta go for Deb.
Ooh. Limp 7-6. 9-9 runs into 10s. And runs the 10s into Joel, and Joel says, no thanks, no thanks.
I remember that 7-deuce hand. Maybe I'll just fold here.
Yeah. Alright, so 9-8 approaching 2 million. I don't think anybody's actually gotten to 2 million at the final table, which is kind of interesting, even though Joel had a pretty big lead at the start, and looked like he might have been able to pull away with it at some point. Deb is getting, oh no, she was just putting in the rest of her blind, I think.
It looks like it is over. Over there. But I'm not looking.
Oh, did you?
No, I didn't spoil anything.
Sort of.
How did I spoil anything? No, I don't. They're all still sitting there.
The crowd has amassed, that's for sure.
There's a crowd of people over there.
Joel 7-3 spades. Just
It's
killing
like
it.
a 30-minute delays.
No, it's okay. I'm just. I personally, I don't think I would. But at the same time, maybe there's somebody out there that's like super stoked now. They're like, yes.
Stoked about what?
They just know like something that they didn't know before.
But how could it possibly? It couldn't possibly go.
No, this is ending shortly because shortish because it's literally just like.
And I actually don't know that it's over.
Bouncing a bunch of chips back and forth.
Somebody give somebody a hug and a big crowd.
Yeah, it looked like very much a chance. So we're still three-handed here. Third place is guaranteed 54.37. Second place 78.31, and first the $12,744 first prize. And the last Sunday, I believe, if you win the last Sunday tournament, if you take first in this tournament, you get a seat in the following month's last Sunday tournament as well.
Cool. Number one headband. What is the first letter of your first name? I have a reason I'm asking.
Simple without table track. So, you know.
Now Poker B has 11 big ones.
11
Still,
big
really.
Anyone's game.
Still anyone's game. We're one double.
They all have
away
chips.
from
They all have chairs.
Switching chip leaders. Anyone is just one double away.
I think, yeah, I mean, we're definitely coming down the home stretch here because there aren't that many chips left in play. Once we get to the next level, splitting like 38 big blinds between 3 people is going to be tough.
What is this?
You got Jack Deuce. Oh no, so Deb called, but for some reason her hand got into the muck or something. But because they knew what the hand was,
They pulled it back out.
Pulled it back out. Yeah. 9-9 flips the king, shows Joel has made a good fold. Who knows though, if Joel had shoved, I don't know that 9-9's going to call with king high. So, yeah, if you guys haven't followed already, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, get our notifications for every time we go live. We're at Stones Live Poker on both platforms, Twitch and YouTube. Also at Stones Live Poker on Twitter. You can follow me at Brent Harrington on Twitter and Kasey at Poker Mama AA on the Twitter. And yeah, definitely.
On the Twitter, on the Insta.
Oh, same.
Well.
Same. Yeah. Joel's got Jack 9 suited on the button. He's gonna shove. Wait, no, never mind. He's only making it 300K. Deb's got the queen and the 7 of hearts.
And she's like,
And the
no,
BB,
for it
and
all,
she's
honey.
like, yeah, we got to do
We
this.
gotta just do it.
All in for 875, a 500K call. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That's that's for later. Later time. All right, so Deb is shoving. It's only 500K more to call. I feel like this is one of those situations where you can't really fold if you're Joel. I mean, you can if you really want to, but your hand is pretty reasonable. I mean, it's a legit flip. It's just like a straight up flip. He calls Jack 9 suited, Queen 7 suited. Deb's got a slight lead here. Ever so slight. Okay, Queen 7 suited. That's the hand you want to win. So don't cheer for Joel again. Oh! King on the flop, 9 on the
He's
flop.
got a 10 ball.
Running diamonds.
10 ball.
10 ball. Oh, wow.
I want the 10
like
ball.
everything's getting... He's supporting Deb.
7 or queen.
And Deb is going to double. What a turn. What a bit of a sweat turn, eh? 6 of...
Oh, so he still has 400 behind.
Yeah, no, he had a lot of chips.
Yay!
So it's Debbie time. Debbie time. And yeah, great job so far. It's been pretty exciting. You know, this is actually one of the first times where I've seen a group of people hovering around the table.
Yeah.
Especially at this stage of the tournament, like. I don't. Normally they're just playing and they're done.
Is it really 2 in the morning?
Apparently, that explains a lot.
How did it even get to be 2 a.m.?
Time flies when you're shoving and you're having a great time. Stones Live Poker, I think. It's gone by pretty fast. I didn't realize it was already 2. But Night Night's got ace-8 on the button. This should be a shove. I mean, if it's not a shove, whatever. It's almost no point in raising some amount that isn't a shove. But, you know, if it makes you feel a little bit tricky or crafty, then go for it.
Ace-8.
See, that's the other thing, too. It's just so much easier to just be like, I'm all in.
Right.
I'm all in. But he elects to make it 250. 250.
And if you're Night
Chipperoonies, and Deb has king high with a 7 of hearts. Mux, Joel, 10-9 of diamonds. Ooh, Joel. You're gonna be hard pressed.
What you gonna do?
I mean, he's got.
What you gonna do when the ace
Yeah,
thing
he's
comes
got
to
5 bigs.
He's gonna shove it.
He's gonna shove it. Who's shoving now? It's Joel. Everybody at home. Who's shoving now? It's Joel. Thank you. Thanks for your help on that one.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Anytime. You know, it's only 2:20 in the morning. I'm just getting started. Like,
Just getting started.
this is when my giddy energy generally kicks in.
Oh, okay. Fair
I
enough.
start to like laugh uncontrollably at like nothing.
Oh,
like
exactly.
there's just some weird little. It's usually actually after like 3. It's just like a weird misfiring that happens where I get really giggly or whatever.
No, yeah,
Like
for
the
sure.
tired thing. Does that ever happen to you, or like
Yes.
when you were a kid or whatever? You
Get a little loopy when you're tired. Yeah, for sure.
Get a little loopy.
Human nature, I think. Ace on the flop. Joel's gonna be hard pressed, but the Joel magic has it run its course. It has indeed run its course. Joel can't win. Night Night's gonna close it out, so that's gonna leave Night Night and Deb heads up for the latest Stones Live last Sunday tournament.
Very nice. It's interesting to me that his number 1 pick and my number 1 pick are the final 2.
Oh yeah, very interesting. I guess we're both geniuses when it comes to
one of us is.
picking poker. And so Night Night's gonna add 2.5 million to Deb's or Poker B's 1.8 million, and I think they snap dealed
They made a snap deal.
I believe if they, it looks like they're talking about it, they're getting an idea. Night chips are all over the place. They did make a deal. If they're coming to us, we know how to make a deal. How much was the deal for?
The deal was, it's a pretty sweet, even deal almost. Deb getting just under 10K at $9,987 for second place, my girl.
Great job, Deb. Congratulations.
And Alfonso?
Night, a.k.a. Alfonso.
Alfonso, but it looks like a U and 7 N, but it is in Alfonso,
okay.
Night. He got $10,587, but he also got a $300 seat into next month.
Yeah, into the next month's last Sunday tournament of champions.
Yeah.
It's been pretty exciting.
About a $900 difference as far as value.
Not
They're
bad.
really good.
The chips were very close, and it's like a crapshoot at this point. So I think everybody came out right.
Tournament, super fun to watch. A lot of interesting play, a lot of fun players. I really enjoyed it. My first tournament commentating.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome to the booth. Welcome to the team. Hope everybody out there enjoyed it as well. I'm sure you guys did. Make sure you follow, subscribe, tune in tomorrow night when Kasey's going to go out of the booth and take some money from some people. Tomorrow night, 1-3. It's a ladies' game tomorrow night, right? Ladies' night tomorrow night.
Every other night,
hosted
I'm all
by
about the
Not a Lady.
Tomorrow
And
night.
Veronica. We'll be here tomorrow.
Just like the guys.
7 p.m. Kasey's like super nice in the booth. She's probably gonna try to take all your money if you ever play against her at the tables. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope you guys had a great night. We'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific time for the next Stones Live Poker. Have a good night. Bye bye.